He's got a little Andy Kaufman in him, Norm. He likes to frustrate, titillate a little, but then periodically he'll say something like, I feel sorry for the homeless guy's dog, because the dog's thinking, this is the longest walk I've ever been on.
I give a guy some money out there, a homeless guy in the street, and this is a kind of odd thing. He had a dog with him. You ever see this? He's a homeless guy, but he's got a dog. That kind of odd there. Guy got no home, but he's got a dog. And the dog's really thrilled with this idea, Dog's going, hey, pal, I can do this by myself pretty well here, Like the longest walk in the world you got me on here. What the hell? What the hell kind of a thing? What the deuce?
One time we were in the office doing update stuff, and there'd been a news item about there was going to be a newspaper for the homeless, and so we were thinking about doing some of that. So we started improvising. It was more of a scene, not something we could do on the segment, but it was like a tough kind of Perry White kind of editor going like, you, Miller, I want 500 words on going to the bathroom in your pants. You, Immel, give me something, give me a human interest thing on urine stain matter. You, was that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Had like a lot of like photos, maybe some, a little human side, what are, pets, that kind of thing. And so nothing came of it, and I sort of forgot we had the conversation, and then the first meeting we have after the summer, Norm comes in and goes, hey, Downey, remember that, that thing we were talking about there with the, remember that thing with the newspaper for the homeless, that thing, the homeless newspaper? And I go, yeah. He goes, yeah, well, I was out in L.A. and I was asked to do this benefit, for the coalition to feed the homeless, and I'm going, no. And he goes, yeah, I did that bit, They hated it. Hated it.
All right, you tell me now. That's the Andy Kaufman part of the joke, or is he actually surprised that they hated it? That's what I can't quite figure with.
I know.
Jimmy calls in here periodically and says that he has bought a puppet and he wants to work material out on the show. And I'll say, well, tell me about the puppet. And it's an old man puppet who's a Holocaust denier. And it's obviously just Norm sitting at home talking as Norm. He makes no pretension to a puppet voice.
I know.
And I think he's Andy. I don't know. I view a lot of Andy Kaufman in there.
I heard a joke.
Yeah, there you go, Norm. You got it.
How would it take by the night monkey?
All right, hold on a second. Go ahead, Norm.
No, I'm terrible at telling jokes, but a guy, he gets a genie or something that gives you wishes in a lamp, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so he's like, oh, no, that's not it. He goes to his whole head is a giant pumpkin. That's how the joke starts. Mm-hmm. It's like a giant pumpkin, and then his friend goes, what happened? He's like, I found this genie in a lamp, and he gave me 3 wishes. And he's like, what happened? He goes, well, the first wish I wished for like $100 million, and I got it. And then for my second wish, I wished for like a beautiful lady, and I got her. And the guy's like, yeah, but what happened? He's like, the third wish, that's where I really blew it. And the guy goes, what happened? He goes, I wish for a giant pumpkin head.
You guys got it. Really, put a CD out together.
You know what I really hate? If you go anywhere with him, like for a couple of days, he does that on purpose. He'll tell jokes with no ending on purpose.
I don't think you need one. Sometimes you can tell a joke like that.
And then that happens.
You don't need to have a joke.
But I would like to tell you the story of the 3 people who was carrying the biggest cannon in the world to Spain. It was 2 boys and 1 girl, and they had this big cannon. It was 50 feet long, and they carried it over the mountains and under the valleys. And one day they get to the top of the highest mountain in Spain. So the first boy, he point this cannon to this castle, to shoot, because he was the boss, so he want to point it. And he turned to the second boy and he say, all right, hand me the cannonball. And, but the second boy, he say, I thought you had them. So wait, so listen, wait. the girl, and she say, "Don't look at me." Because they forgot to bring the cannonball. They have the cannon, but they have no cannonball. They could not shoot. Do you understand? Thank you very much.
These broken pieces I hold in my hands don't have a chance to mend at all. Before they get thrown into chaos again, I try to pretend I'm whole enough to stand in this world so unsteady.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You didn't have to do that.
I don't know what that guy's talking about. I can't turn around.
You know what
You okay? Something wrong, Carl? You okay, honey?
I can't, I
think we're gonna have to order some wine.
Yeah, wine.
Yeah, we have some.
I can't. Can I just?
Just say it.
I can't play. I can't play stoned. I feel really stupid.
You feel stupid. She's great. She's great. You feel stupid.
I feel very stupid.
You feel stupid.
I feel
Great.
Well, let's have some bread.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? I feel stupid.
You feel stupid.
I feel very stupid. No, because where are you going?
Well, I don't know. I think I'm gonna.
Hey, this is all in fun. It's all in fun. Come on. All right, hold on. It's all in fun. What are you trying to do?
This is all,
It's all in fun. Come on.
where are we now? Cut out. Cut out.
So you cut it out. Well, why do you have to push this in my face? Well, why do you have to push this in my face? I'll put it all in your face.
Scene in the show. That's
Come on.
why.
Why?
Okay.
So what do you have to? So what do you have to? Come on. Come on. Look, I'm just trying to have fun. Everybody's so uptight around here. Everyone's so uptight around here. I don't understand.
Bobby's got a commercial, man.
What? I don't know. Why do you have to be so uptight? What?
What up to me? Come on, man. Hold on.
But what's interesting was at my Comedy Central roast that John Stamos was the roast master, and all of the comedians, and that's where beloved Norm MacDonald did his very memorable non-roasty tribute of doing.
No, he was reading from a joke book.
He said, "Saget, I'm going to do jokes from the '40s." And I went, "I don't know." I said, "Say fuck once." I don't want to do that. I don't want to make fun of you. You're my friend. And I went, I got roasted on Comedy Central. I'm going to go all over the place because I can't. I don't know what else to do. This is me just saying I love Norm. When I got roasted, I talked to him a week before the roast, and he called me and he said, Saget, I can't, this is a bad impression. I can't help but do it, though. Saget, I can't say mean things about you. You're my friend. I don't even want to do it, but I'm going to do it because it's you. And so at the roast, he called me a week out and said, I'm just going to read jokes from a 40s joke book. And I said, Norm, that's fine. I mean, you know what you're doing, but you got to curse. I don't want to do that. I said, well, just throw in an arbitrary fuck now and then. Nah, I'm not going to do that. And then you get to the roast. And okay, so what you see usually with the extended cut, which is not what it is. It's just everything about Norm is the big lie.
Bob, you have a lot of well-wishers here tonight, and a lot of them would like to throw you down one, a well. They want to murder you in a well. Seems a little harsh, but apparently they want to murder you in a well. It says here on this card.
There's a 20-minute version. There's 20 minutes of footage where the people that were there know what happened in the room. Half of them did and half of them didn't because they didn't know what was going on because they didn't get it. But he was just taking the shot at doing, and people are like, this was the most brilliant thing, and it was. But a great stand-up, and Norm was one of the greatest ever, knows that they're not going to, bombing is not, doesn't matter. And that's what was fearless and beautiful about him, because bombing is just part of the art, part of the performance of it. And if you can offend people and get laughs, then you're in some kind of real special ethos.
No, I think that Bob should join the Ku Klux Klan. And that's not because he's racist. He's not racist. It's just that he'd look a lot better with a hood over his head on account of his face.
He was doing that by reading these jokes, and then there were about 8 minutes that it was quiet, and that made you don't see the comedians laughing harder, but all of my friends. That's the idea of that roast was as horrible as some of the things that were said because it's a roast, and it was a different time, but. Norm, of course, chose the path of dignity, and did jokes, and we were laughing on the phone the week before that he would hold the cards up to his head and do Johnny, to the face like a cauliflower.
No, but Bob has a beautiful face like a flower. Yeah, cauliflower. No offense, but your face looks like a cauliflower.
But we were doing all that stuff because he idolized Johnny, as all of us did. And so they cut out the part that was bombing, and but it did. I would have loved to have seen the whole damn thing. I think the roast should have just been a bunch of people doing a bunch of horrible dick jokes and wow, some really wrong stuff on there, right? But it was funny for a lot of people. It's really split how you look at stuff from years ago, and people know what funny is. And Norm did the most brilliant thing, and I was so excited when he said, I said, you got a fucking dog face. And that if you look at the thing, I don't like looking at myself, and who does? But I like looking at me. But when he said that, that's when I was like, yeah, come on, start cursing. Just throw in arbitrary curses. Because at that point, he was digging out of a hole. That's what he was doing. But
straight to the heart. I went a long time acting like I was a bro. Get apart by you.
How fucking brilliant. Because it was so anti-roast. Because he didn't want to roast his friend. And he also didn't want to do a roast. So there's, it was a good toss-up whether he was doing it because he didn't want to hurt his friend, and also he didn't want to do a roast. He didn't love the form. He didn't mind listening to the old ones, but he wasn't equipped mentally or care enough to make fun of someone. It just, it seemed like okay, that's the joke. Making fun of somebody. Oh, great format. So, of course, he's reading the sports section while the other comedians are doing their stuff, and that it's just, it's brilliance. an Andy Kaufman type thing, or anybody who knows what comedy is and doing some kind of, it's just Norm. It's just Norm. It's what he found funny.
Bob Saget directed Norm MacDonald's movie Dirty Work. Yeah. A move that transformed Norm MacDonald into a star, Buck's employee.
And then at the end, and I thought about, do I play it on here right now? And the answer is no. You can watch it. You can see it. I mean, at the end of the thing, he got emotional, and he doesn't mean to do it. He doesn't know what he's going to say, and he doesn't do it that often.
Bob, honestly, has never had an unkind word for anybody, and I love him, and I hope everybody else does, so I just want to say that. Thank you.
He told me, he loved me, and he told me publicly, and I loved him, and I love him.
He had I think, best word choice of maybe any comedian I've ever seen. Yeah. He intentionally mispronounces words.
Because the biggest show right now in the planet is Kate and Ashley plus... What? Kate, John and Kate...
Spit all over me. That's all right.
John and Kate plus 8.
You did it. You did it. Yeah.
When he knows how to say TV. Mm-hmm. He says it's the TV.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing now?
I just saw on the TV my hair.
Okay. All right.
He came on our show, I think it was his first appearance, and he was talking about a Doberman, and he said it's a Doberman. And he knows.
When I was a kid, the toughest dog was a Doberman dog. You ever see them? They're a tough... Oh, man, they'll rip your throat out, them dogs. Just like a pit.
But he's constantly screwing with you on every level.
Right.
But his word choice is, he was like Mark Twain. He had this folksy, completely out of time. Yeah. And I don't know if he was born 300 years too late or 300 years too early, but he's talking in a way, no one speaks like that. And you really appreciate the way he says things. And
he
his
talks
timing.
like a 1930s Canadian dock worker.
Yeah.
But he says, listen now, he says, man, I'm a tough old hombre, and I got friends now. He says, I don't want anybody to know about this. This is back in the old days.
Sure, yeah.
He says,
I can tell by the accent, yeah.
It's funny because when the way I experienced him, as you did, Dave, was, really on the talk show format. And later on, when I would look at the clips of him on my show, that I would think, I don't even know that I needed to. I was there just laughing, but I was in no way. He's totally self-fueled. Yes, it's nice when you hear the audience there, but he's also, when I look at his appearances that he did with me, I think I didn't need to be there. Right. I mean, I'm glad I was there. I'm selfishly glad I was there. But he's talking a lot about. He's talking a lot about mortality. He's talking a lot about death, and obviously now that people, comics talk about that all the time. His face, his eyes, and his eyebrows. I always said there's something almost like a jack-o'-lantern. He's got such a great, his expressions when he's talking about after someone's completed the act, when he becomes, what am I going to do now? I'm going to go down and have a cheese sandwich. He's such a terrific performer. I mean, he's really just got this.
I got a wife.
You got a wife?
I just got married because I thought, go through that charade, keep appearances up.
Oh, yeah. That's the kind of thing you tell if this were a memo.
Yeah. And he's telling the whole story like a great 1920s silent film comic. He also had an infinite collection of old stories, I think probably from, rural Canada or traveling salesman stories. And I would be delighted because, he'd come out and I'd be laughing. It was the only person I could say this about. I'd be laughing before he did anything. He'd come out from behind the curtain and he's got those cheeks and those eyes. And I've looked at the tape. I'm just laughing. He hasn't done anything yet.
No, I'm from a little town. It's called Monkland, and it's only 108 people.
108. That's small.
It's country. It's really rural. And but man, I'll tell you, there's lots of funny stories from there.
Well, I'm sorry we don't have time. Thank you very much for coming, Norm. It was good having you here. It was Norm MacDonald. Good night, everybody.
Because farm
Really?
people, you
there
know.
are funny stories from this town.
Yeah, because farm people, they all seem to be, there all seems to be a funny story. I remember one time.
There better be, Norm. And then Norm, how are you? And he's like, bought a farm.
Yeah.
And I know immediately this is complete bullshit. And I'd say, well, the whole thing is a complete waste of everyone's time, and it's joyous.
Right.
Because
he's reveling in it.
He's reveling in every second of it. My experience was so chaotic. I thought this guy is Evel Knievel. He's going to jump Snake River Canyon. He doesn't care. But he put a ton of work into what he was doing and worked it out a lot of the time. So I don't know what that process was, but I mean, this really impressed me with how self-contained it is.
Some days we get closer. Things that we never really needed. Promises that we never thought of keeping safe. I guess it's never over if we never got it together.
All I've ever heard about Norm is that I think he was the most widely read comedian. Very widely read, highly intelligent. I think a great, great mathematician. I mean, things that you would never think. He was talented in all these areas, and choosing, what's my diction? What's my word going to be? What's the right word here? And what's it exactly going to be? So you get this, because he seems reckless, but he's also ruthlessly planned everything out and thought it through. Yeah. And they don't seem to go together, but with him, they do.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell a joke.
Go for it. Yeah, please do. Please. Yeah.
There was a little boy in school named Dirty Johnny. Now, he's not dirty in this joke, but he'd always be a hellion in class, and the teacher didn't think much of him. So the teacher has a project, or not a project, but an in-class thing. How'd that go again? She says, now, this is what you're going to do here, class. I want you to stand up. I want you to stand up and tell the class a story from your life. And then afterwards say the moral to that story. So a girl puts up her hand. Yes, Becky, what's your story? So Becky stands up. She goes, my dad works for the hatchery here in town. And what happens was he got about 15 eggs, and he put them all in one basket, all in the same basket. So he put all his eggs in one basket. And he put it on the horse and buggy and drove back home. And by God, Becky says, the bouncing and all the eggs broke. Well, that's a good story, the teacher says, but what would the moral be to that? Becky says, well, the moral is, don't put all your eggs into one basket. But goddamn, says the teacher, that's a good one. Anybody else? Marjorie puts up her hand. Marjorie, what's your story? She says, well, my dad worked for the hatchery, as all of us. Thank God for the hatchery. She says, or we'd all be lost. But anyways, my dad knows that eggs become chickens. And so he was counting his chickens, and he added in the eggs, you see. And then he put them on a horse and buggy to go to town, and they all broke. Well, what's the lesson to that? The teacher says. She can't understand. And she says, well, don't count your chickens before they hatch out of an egg. So the teacher says, that's a great one, too. Anybody else? Well, wouldn't you know, Dirty Johnny has his hand up. So the teacher's like, holy God, I don't want it. But on the other hand, I made an oath to every child, should I suppose I gotta. All right, Dirty Johnny, what do you have to say? Johnny stands up. Stories about my Uncle Terry. He never worked at the hatchery. On account he was in Vietnam. And he got disability. He don't even like people work at the hatchery. But the story happened far from these shores, in a little town called Da Nang. Terry was not well liked. His whole troop left him, abandoned. And he woke up in the weeds, and all they left him with was 3 bottles of Jack Daniels, some weapons. Terry stood up and downed 1 bottle right away. Said, if I'm going out, I'm going out. He took his Balishnikov and a couple of Glocks and his 2 bottles, and away he went. He found a town. And he didn't know if it was Charlie or if it was one he was sent to protect. But all he knew was he had hate in his gut. So he started firing. And he fired the Kalashnikov with an arcing kind of, like a farmer would with hay, with a scythe. And sure enough, the men fell like hay before him. And then the women, and by God, I'm ashamed to say it, but then the children. And finally, all was left was Uncle Terry standing in the mud and the blood and the glory. And he touched his pants, and it was wet, and he said he was ashamed. He felt shame, Uncle Terry, for he'd pissed himself. Well, he touched it again. It was not urine at all, but ejaculate. And Uncle Terry felt pride where shame once was. And the teacher's like, good Christ, what kind of a story is that? What the hell is the moral to that? Oh, well, he says, when Uncle Terry's been drinking, you don't fuck with him. Now, it's better if you work at the hatchery. Now, listen. So listen, guys, this has been fun, hasn't it?
This has been probably
This has been good. It saves me a trip to my senile uncle. So that's.
So when you started in Incredibad
/ The Lonely Island.
Yeah, The Lonely Island. What's the significance of that name, though? That's what really I wanted to ask. The Lonely Island. You think of all islands as kind of lonely.
Do you really want to hear the story?
Yes, please.
I do too. I do a real short version, which is just basically was what we called the apartment we lived on Olympic with all the traffic. It was a sarcastic name from a sarcastic Tennessee Williams style sketch we did about the apartment.
Akiva wrote a 1-act play.
God damn, I wish I had a time machine.
To see that action.
Yeah, no, to take back my question.
Thought you were going to say to murder Hitler.
I would not. You know, people always fucking want to murder Hitler with their time machine, right? But then I feel if I got back there, I'd be afraid of falling under the spell of his fucking beautiful eyes.
It's true. You
want oratory, and
he
then
locked in the gaze.
Yeah, and then I join the fucking party.
That's
knowing
his
me.
thing. He gives you his full attention. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe there's something to this guy.
No, but before you ask another serious
Believe
question,
it or not, they're telling
on.
us to wrap it up. I don't exactly know why you guys.
Wrap what?
This was fun for everyone.
It's the
For the
Lonely
record,
Island, guys.
I would have killed Hitler. So thanks, gentlemen.
Can I just clarify? if I did go back in time to kill Hitler, I would do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get lost in his eyes and then bail.
Yeah.
Just so I don't get hit from all the
I know
defamation leads.
You would end it. Yeah.
Listen, man, I'm sorry about.
We got to wrap it up.
I'm sorry about bringing up Hitler.
You really brought this live show to a new
This
low.
is the first one, right? This is your first interview?
It's just going to get worse.
This is the first time I've ever interviewed a man.
If you can bring Hitler into all of them, they're going to ask you back for sure, which is I know what you want.
That's what we're all hoping for.
Okay.
I'm sick of these kind of characters. I think we should kill Hitler. Me and you go suicide, kill him.
Yeah, it's like died 50 years ago, probably.
Did he? I didn't even know he was sick.
He wasn't. Well, no, that's fine.
I wish I could find a Hitler of today and go kill him.
Now let's take this. Take us back in time. You started. You say.
I wish I could. I don't know.
Figuratively.
If I could take you back in time, first I'd kill Hitler, but then I'd ride a dinosaur or something. I don't know what you wanted to do, but these are some things you'd have to do first. I would invest in Coca-Cola. There's a lot of things I wouldn't do if I could go back in time, but unfortunately I can't. You're probably going, oh, well, this guy can go back in time. Why hasn't he? Well, that's an interesting question you ask. Because I don't have a time machine, and I don't know any portholes in the atmosphere that I can go through, and that's about the only scientific stuff I could say is portholes, and maybe that's just for
What
boats.
year would you go back to if you could go back in time? What year?
If I could go back in time, I'd go back a year ago and just get a pastrami sandwich or something from some place that closed 2 months before. But so I don't, because if you could just go back any time, then that would be fine.
Well, let's go down memory lane just a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, when did
I thought
you
he just went there. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, I'd say hello to Jesus. If I could go back in time and say, hey, between you and me, I think, maybe keep your mouth shut. It's getting people angry. You're really not making any friends here. Eventually, you'll be famous. Trust me. But right now, maybe you just want to, pull back a little.
Go ahead, Angela. Hop in here.
scared of letting go of everything and I don't let
You know, I mean, I have opinions. I mean, I have opinions that everybody holds, you know. I don't know. Yellow is the best color, you know, but I don't know if you call that an opinion. You know, it's just a, oh, hold on, it's my phone. There's a guy will come on TV, go, hey, listen, let me ask you a question. Do you like yellow? And I go, yeah, of course I like yellow. He goes, yeah, well, so is this guy. And they show guys waving, pointing at someone that doesn't exist, wearing a yellow shirt, you know? And then I go, Ruth, get out here, goddamn. Here's a guy on the TV that's speaking for me finally, Ruth. You know, I'm always talking about how cool yellow is. Well, this mother finally, a person that's speaking not at me, but for me. I like bananas. I go, God damn, I never looked at it that way. I like bananas too. You go, they're yellow. I go, God damn, you're right, they are yellow. Ha! What say you and me go buy a yellow banana?
I was at a party with a friend, and so I noticed you first. And you returned my gaze, knew how to quench my thirst. You took me to that room like a dream come true. The dance you performed was just for me and you. Kisses on the neck, then you work your way down. Let yourself go for me all around town. Seductively stood.
No, I don't do him from his radio show. I just do him from the, because he has his article in USA Today.
His column.
His column.
Yeah.
And all it is he just, anything he thinks of, he writes it down.
His thoughts.
Yeah.
His thoughts.
Yeah, and they're just like completely random. Like he'll go like, blue is a great color, but for my money, yellow is the best. It's like crazy.
That's all, Larry.
Supposed to make you think.
Yeah, it makes you think. He goes, I don't care what.
Tell me some of the Asian things that, like, you know.
Like
small penis?
No, like names, yeah.
Oh, well, yellow, yeah.
Yellow?
Yeah.
Who says that?
Who says yellow?
You're a coward.
Hey, yellow.
No, that's yeller.
You're yeller.
Yeah.
I've never heard of yellow.
No, never.
That's our skin color, but.
Yeah, yellow man.
That's just what
yellow
say.
man, that's what you say.
God,
you made that up.
Oh, no,
Hey, yellow man, get out of my bar. I've never heard that. No. Do you know all the racial things against Asians? Yeah, can you
I got to work on the Norm show, his kind of short-lived sitcom. I think it was only on for 2 seasons, maybe. And it was him, Max Wright, the dad from Alf, Laurie Metcalf, awesomely, and Artie Lang. It was maybe the most dysfunctional cast I've ever been lucky enough to work with. Laurie hated being there, even though she's a genius actor and a genius sitcom actor, but she hated it. She hated the cameras, she hated the audience, she hated everything. She just wanted to move back to Chicago and do theater with her daughter at the Steppenwolf. Max Wright is a crazy town. He's the guy that would miss table reads, and he would just be like in New Hampshire in a ditch, like his car driven off the side of the road with a lap full of empty champagne bottles. And then he was famously on the cover of the National Enquirer, one of those rags, hitting cameras, doing crack with gay homeless guys. Awesome stuff.
Ditches, they're not. Ditches used to be a happening spot, basically up until maybe the 1970s, I want to say. Things were going on in ditches, but now, it's, it's trash or nothing.
Yeah, it's all, these days, it's all ravines. It's mostly a ravine kind of situation now.
Back in my day, we had a ditch and we were happy about it.
Yeah. Luxury. We used to dream about being in a ditch. So on the night of the show, because Norm didn't really rehearse that hard. Laurie Metcalf, on the other hand, because she is a consummate professional actor, she really rehearsed. She took notes, and every rehearsal throughout the sitcom week, she was trying things out and really digging in and experimenting and exploring. And everybody else is like comics and lazy, and you kind of I'll be funny on the night. And Norm didn't really rehearse that much. And before the show, this is the first time I'd ever seen a sitcom do this. And we were shooting at Warner Brothers. And also, if the police are on their way, Spencer, make sure that you warn a brother.
How often does that come up? I mean, that's great, but how often can you fit that into?
I saw a dude
anywhere?
with that shirt with the WB logo, you know, like the WB, and it said, "If the police come in, Warner Brothers." It's a great shirt. We met in the green room where normally it's reserved for the network exec mucky mucks to watch the show and pass judgment from on high. The whole cast met up there, and guest stars like myself. I was just a guest star on it, and to do a speed read before the show, which I'd never seen before, like to really speed read the entire episode. And I got the impression that it was basically for Norm. That then is this story ringing a bell to either of you? Did I just tell this story on the show?
Not just, but yeah. Then you said, like, weren't you talking to Artie Lang about how he how he just gets blasted and gets like? To me it sounded like I imagined like a moving dolly, and he was just like on the dolly, and he just like rolled him in.
No,
I don't know.
He was gone for like an hour and a half. The audience was loaded in, so I know I'm repeating myself now. But we were all worried about it, Norm. I'm like, does this happen a lot? And Artie offered me a cigar. I'm like, I don't smoke, but can I take one for a friend? He's like, yeah. He gave me this nice like Nat Sherman cigar. And or like little cigarillo kind of thing. And if you can imagine, I knew Artie a little bit, but Artie was like, he seemed like the level one, like the level-headed guy in the cast, comparatively to everybody else in this weird-ass group of people. And Norm came in, he had done a bunch of Xanax, and then when the taping started, he was perfect. He was absolutely perfect. There's a good story Sam Simon told me, because Sam Simon was executive producer on that show. And Norm, as funny as he is, one of the greatest comics of all time, and certainly a comic, and he will certainly be missed by everybody. He's goddamn, he's funny. Norm's not a great dramatic actor, apparently, and there was a scene when he fucks up like his love interest in the show, and I'm blanking on the actress's name, but he steps in it. He does something stupid, and she's like, you know what? I don't ever want to talk to you again. Like this is over. I was like, you know, fuck you. This is the end. And she slams the door and walks out and slams the door behind her. And that's the end of the scene. And I think that was a commercial break. And Norm in the script is supposed to look very sad. So she would do the line in rehearsal, and she would go, I never want to talk to you again. Slam. And then Norm would just stand there. And just waiting for someone to yell cut. And Sam would go, okay. So Sam geniusly found a way to make Norm act sad. Sam took his watch off and took his wristwatch off and placed it on the floor about 5 feet to the right of Norm. So when the actress, he goes, Norm, when she leaves, watch her walk out, slam the door, take a beat, and then look at my watch. So that's how they did it. Like teaching a dog to act.
But that's another.
And then he just went, and it worked. Fucking genius.
But that's part of what's so crazy is because it simultaneously felt like it was so well put together, so rehearsed, but also so natural. Like he didn't even know what he was saying was funny, you know, like he doesn't even get the joke. But it was always simultaneously. You could almost you could never pin him down. And you know, I don't know. You know, I think he seems, especially now that he's gone, you know, he definitely seems like a hard guy to pin down. I don't know.
You got to look into the future. It's like the word retard.
Well, yeah, hey, don't get me started.
That's the word right now, because I think people have stopped saying gay meaning lame.
Yeah.
The more evolved.
And
however, the word retard is still, I think.
Before you argue with it, they should stop saying retarded, I like to ask two questions. I go, number one, because you have to find out about their past. And if they answer these questions differently, I give them the different speech. I go, do you think Jew me down? Do you think we stopped it because we shouldn't have had to, but people are so PC? And if they went, no, that's horrible.
What did they say when you, hey, stop with that joint there, getting spit on it.
So, no, hold on a second. So most people would say that we stopped those things because it was egregious.
Yes.
I know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I know.
And so you have to say, so if the answer is no to those things, like we stopped them because they were bad, then why do you fucking think that retarded is going to stand the test of time? I don't get why.
Just look into the past. You're all dressed up.
Yeah, they told me to dress up for Comedy Week.
Explain to the folks what Comedy Week is. You fucking retard. No, can you explain?
Not really.
2 23-year-old women in China this week have set a record, living 12 days in a room with 888 deadly snakes. They now hold a place, a coveted place, in the Guinness Book of World Retard. 20th Century Fox has announced that Macaulay Culkin will not be hired to star in Home Alone 3. Studio spokesman said that it was nothing personal, but with Culkin now 16 years of age, the only way to keep him in the film would be to make the character retarded. In an effort to feel smarter than somebody, Dan Quayle this week spoke to 4,000 Amway employees. Dismissed Simpson juror Jeanette Harris revealed in interviews this week that the jury is torn by dissension and is already divided into 2 camps, those who think he is guilty and those who are really, really stupid. In a recent interview, Christy Brinkley suggested that football players should have special gloves connected to lights on their helmets. That way, when they catch the ball, you'll know who has possession. Read these and other interesting ideas in Christie's new book, I'm an Idiot. New York Governor George Pataki this week announced a plan to cut state scholarship aid to college students who do not maintain at least a C average. Sadly, the students hurt most by these cuts will be the idiots. According to published reports, MTV News anchor Tabitha Soren has been romantically linked with journalist Michael Lewis. Soren denies the reports, claiming she doesn't have time for a boyfriend because she's too busy pretending not to be stupid. And finally, the Oscar nominations were announced this week, and Tom Hanks and Jodie Foster are in a heated competition in the Academy's controversial new category, Best Retard. When I lived in L.A., I lived on the actual street called Melrose Place. There's an actual street.
There's a Melrose. Is there really a Melrose
There's really
Place?
a Melrose Place.
Okay.
You know this, right?
Yes,
it's true. So they opened a restaurant called Melrose Place on it, and then it's right beside my house. And every time I go out, there's all these retards, like tourists, and then these tourist retards, like they're always fat and they're taking pictures, standing in front of this restaurant.
Yeah.
Do you know that you are a cis male? Have you ever heard of that term?
A cis male?
Cis male. C-Y-S-M-A-L-E. So what it means is that you are a man. You're born a man.
Well, as far as you know.
As far as I know. And you identify yourself as a man.
Yes.
That's a cis male.
Now, I don't understand. Where does that... Is this a new phrase?
Yes, it's a way of marginalizing a normal person. Some people really dislike that term, cis male, because a cis male, as you explained, is a male who identifies himself as a male, and they say, well, that's you shouldn't marginalize a person.
You need to be marginalized. You need to be marginalized. It's a way to identify somebody who was basically, born, lives and
It's the same sex.
So you're a cis male.
What does a cis male mean?
This other person's a trans. So you're equal. She's a man that thinks she's a woman. You're a man that thinks you're a man. It's completely
so everyone's,
equal.
it's all fluid.
Yes, everyone is self-identifying.
Yes.
I am firmly on the side of womanhood now, but I am not a woman, nor will I ever be. 3 sentences later. I use the women's restroom because I am a woman. I changed my gender on my birth certificate to female because I am a woman. So there's a little confusion there, right?
Not for me. What's wrong with that?
Well, here it says I am not a woman. When I was a kid, my dad would tell me that this man was a gold medal decathlete. Why, the greatest athlete in the world. And now I have to tell my kid that this man is a man. What the H? A guy told me that, I don't know if you've heard this, Bruce Jenner is going to go back maybe to being a man. Yeah. Did you hear that? That's an odd thing. Because I remember him, of course, as a woman. So it's hard for me to picture what he'd even look like as a man. I remember, because I'm from Canada, so I remember he was in the 72 Olympics, and he won the decathlon, you know, which is the best athlete in the world, was a woman. And we didn't know at the time because he kept it secret. But I remember they put the gold medal around his fucking big juicy tits. And that to me is when he should have just gone, I'm a lady, and then that would have been good for the LGBTG. The community, you know, the community. I don't know if you've been over and seen them and shit, but it's a nice community. And it would have been good. All the LGBTBL. I try to be inclusive of all the letters in the alphabet. But, you know, then he waited. That's the problem. He waited till he was 65. That's when Bruce Jenner decided to tell us he was a lady. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, is there really that much difference between a 65-year-old? At some point, you got to realize you're just some old thing nobody wants to fuck.
And come to think of it, I got addicted to you. Oh, no, no, no. And come to think of it, I need somebody like you. Oh, no, no, no. I need someone like you.
All right, a Las Vegas woman was arrested after hiding a stolen Rolex in her vagina. Well, now Bruce Jenner's just gone too far.
I don't understand.
Guess we're not in LA. It's not as scary.
Oh.
Well, I'm saying LA is.
Dang. You can feel it. You can feel it.
Do we race downstairs?
No. You just want to go downstairs.
Yeah, I do too. Fuck it.
I want to go downstairs. No, you don't want to be in an elevator.
I was say I don't want to take the elevator or go down 64 flights.
It'll be done.
5 years.
You'll be like.
It's 4th of July and it's a Trump Tower. I don't know what you're taking.
Let's just talk about this.
What's the most exciting thing that has happened to you this year?
The most exciting thing?
Mm-hmm. Do you get excited?
No, I don't remember anything exciting happening to me. I mean, that earthquake was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The fault line.
Reminded you of that that Giants World Series.
That's right.
Another endless day, nobody's gonna change. You won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not tired of it. Can make you want me. And I might act okay, say things will stay the same. Say I'm all I need.
Oh, this is your kind of joke,
I zoned
man.
out.
This reminds me of your kind of joke.
All right.
Just from hearing you read jokes.
Oh, I like this. I like the theme that this one has. A man in Taiwan reportedly cut off his own penis to win an argument with his wife. That reminds me of that episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, where Raymond forgot Deborah's birthday and he had to cut his own cock off. Oh my God.
Brad Garrett seemed like a long shot. I remember like him because he's so crazy tall. You'd see him at the Improv and you go, how could he be cast in anything?
Well, he wasn't, you know, we wrote the show based on my life, so it was based on my brother in real life, who really was a cop, a New York City cop, but he was like 5'10", and he had this kind of bitterness, but he nothing like Brad brought into it.
This is Robert, Ray's brother. Ray's brother?
Listen, Deborah, once again, it's that time of year where I have to ask you to look deep into your hearts and pockets to pledge your continued support for those of us who risk our lives for you.
Yeah, sure, Robert. How much?
Let me finish. Your $20 pledge enables us to upgrade our equipment, fund our community outreach program, and provide our canine division with crunchy treats. Thank you.
And he had bitterness about you, your success?
He coined the phrase, this is what nobody knows, which is what I hate, is that Everybody Loves Raymond.
Which you hate that. You hate that
wanted. Yeah. It wasn't a title I wanted. It was a quote from my brother, said sarcastically in real life. Yeah, he came over to my house. He saw I won like a Cable Ace Award, which we don't. Yeah. And he said, "Look at it. What's this?" I go, "Yeah, I got it they just gave me an award." And he just goes, "Look at this. Look at our lives." You know, he was a cop, New York City cop. He said, people spit at me, they shoot at me. Everybody loves Raymond. Yeah. And so that got in the show, and then Phil Rosenthal said, let's use it as a working title, just a working title. Yeah. And I said, oh, it's going to stick, and sure enough, Les Moon does.
Was he your first choice, Brad?
It should have had quotation marks around it.
No, Brad, they were casting, you know, I was in New York, and they would keep telling me who they think is up for it, and then they said, we found a good choice for the brother, Brad Garrett. And I said, you know, because all I knew him was from Star Search. And he won. He won the first year of Star Search. So I knew of him, and I knew he was this giant
impressionist. Yeah.
I said, what? And Stu Smiley from HBO said, he did this unique take on it. And I saw it, and yeah, it was a lucky, that's it. We didn't write that. That wasn't on the page, that persona.
Yeah.
And he brought that in.
Does he live in Las Vegas?
No, but he has a place there because he has that club.
I saw him there.
You say there's no way we could go back, and that I've broken what we had. Oh, I wish that you would come
Last week at a dramatic press conference about the crash of TWA Flight 800, ABC News correspondent Pierre Salinger displayed a document which he believes is proof that the jet was shot down by a U.S. Navy missile. Later, he proudly showed reporters his solid gold Rolex that he bought on the street for just $15. That's one ugly bastard, isn't it? Well, it is finally official. Murder is legal in the state of California. A down-and-out O.J. Simpson, depressed that all of his money-making ideas have failed, has decided to go back to doing what he does best, killing people. And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? What a season he had. Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles.
that is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... all bets are off. Just a word of advice. A new book claims that Madonna once smeared peanut butter all over John F. Kennedy Jr.'s body and then licked it off. Which just goes to show you, Madonna's a whore. And finally, Weekend Update would like to congratulate Madonna, who gave birth to a beautiful baby girl last Monday. The baby weighed in at 6 pounds, 9 ounces, making it the 4th largest object ever to pass through Madonna's birth canal. This week, in a secret ceremony in Australia, Michael Jackson was married for the 2nd time. Asked what makes his new bride special, the King of Pop said, quote, "She has taught me about the power of imagination, like imagining that a grown woman is a 10-year-old boy." You know he's a homosexual pedophile, right? You understand? Sources report that Michael Jackson's baby is due February 27th, and it's going to be named Michael Jackson Jr. Michael plans to be with the mother during the delivery, in his words, to make up for not being there for the Sources report that Michael Jackson's baby is due February 27th. It's conception. The last word was conception, so...
Michael Jackson. He said, I heard a quote where he said, I don't care if my child is a boy or a girl, as long as it's a boy. He's going to name it. He said he doesn't know what he's going to name it. He said he thinks if it's a girl, he's going to name it Sharon.
Really?
Yeah. And if it's a boy, he's going to have sex with it.
I came in and he was supposed to be the my guide through SNL, and it turned out that he is a shit stirrer.
I'm not going to guide any lady through comedy. That would take me, first of all, I'd have to figure out how a lady could do comedy. You know? And then I'd have to...
Safer drivers, men or women? Well, according to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentage in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do. No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women. Here we see the president and the first bitch. Gosh, Hillary looks pretty in this photo here, doesn't she? Never realized she was such a looker till I see her here in this picture. But you see, the only way Bill Clinton, or Bob Dole can win, really, is if Bill Clinton is rocked with more scandals. You know, there's every day a new scandal comes up, you know. I heard this one today, terrible scandal, apparently. Way back when he was governor of Arkansas, Bill Clinton, apparently, he got really drunk one night, and he had sex with Hillary.
Wow.
That's no good.
That's a shocking thing.
Yeah. And how long have you been married?
7 months.
7 months, which is a record.
No, this is the first. I've been married, Larry, but I've never been married.
Married.
This is married.
Married like...
She's my friend, like I love her.
I see. That's what Clinton says about his wife, isn't it? In Whitewater news, federal regulators quizzed Hillary Clinton at the White House this week and gave her a perfect score on the lying section. She's a dirty liar. You know, of course, they say the White House is haunted. Did you know that? And I thought this was kind of sad. I heard last night that President Clinton charged Abraham Lincoln's ghost $10,000 to sleep in his own bed. So that doesn't seem right to me, you know? I mean, no. But look, the president, you know, has come under a lot of fire for raising money, but you know, he's good at it. He's good at raising money. That's not a bad thing. Every president's done it. It's just that President Clinton is very, very, very good at it. Do you know he has organized in the past year over 100 fundraising dinners and over 200 fundraising midnight snacks? Did you know that? Is he laughing? Is he?
Okay, Norm, you're Canadian.
Yes, I am.
So what do you think of this whole presidential mess?
Well, I hope that the Democrats don't steal the election from the winner, you know, but who knows?
You like George Bush, don't you?
I love George Bush, man. He's a good man, decent, you know, none of this. Yeah, he's, you know, he's not a liar, a crook, murderer, or anything like that. So it'd be good to get the. See, I think we should get the homicide out of the White House and get like a fresh start, because we don't want any more murderers.
I think we should just go on to the next question.
Oh.
Who the murderers? Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
Yeah, you know, we're not allowed to. You're not allowed to put out no accusations without.
That's a little too far.
That's the way it does work.
Let's just go on to the next question.
Yeah.
This is not my week. What can I tell you?
Oh, it's not mine either, and I'm being very nice, okay? Be a good boy. Now, Norm.
Do you never hear that?
No. Listen,
No,
we don't need
I
to
don't want
talk
to get
about
into
that.
this, and I don't want to hear it, and this is not the place to make those accusations, and you're supposed to be funny. Let's get on to the next question. So get with it.
There you go.
This is a live show.
Not for nothing, Norm, but you have been properly chastised by Barbara, so I'm not going to ask the next question.
I thought it was a matter of record.
Shut up. Shut up. Look,
Okay.
let me do this, okay?
I'll tell you what's a matter of record. You will not be invited back if you don't shut up. All right, now. Let's talk football.
All right, manslaughter.
Let's talk football.
Norm.
The people here asked me to do the show, you know, I gotta say, I felt kind of weird, you know. I don't know if you remember this, but I used to actually be on this show, you know. I used to do the weekend update news routine, you remember that? And, yeah. That's where I did the make-believe news jokes, you know. That was me, right? So then, a year and a half ago, right, I had a sort of a disagreement with the management at the NBC. I wanted to keep my job, right? And they felt the exact opposite. So you see, they fired me because they said that I wasn't funny, you know? Now, with most jobs, I could have had a hell of a lawsuit on my hands for that, but see, this is a comedy show. So they got me, you know what? But now, this is the weird part, right? It's only a year and a half later, and now they asked me to host the show. So I wondered, I go, hey, wait a second here. Hey! I go, how did I go in a year and a half from being not funny enough to be even allowed in the building to being so funny that I'm now hosting the show? How did I suddenly get so goddamn funny? It was inexplicable to me, because a year and a half, let's face it, is not enough time for a dude to learn how to be funny. Then it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm funny compared to, you know, well, you'll see later. Okay, so let's recap. The bad news is I'm still not funny. The good news is the show blows. All right, folks, we got a bad show for you tonight. Dr. Dre, Snoop Doggy Dogg, and Eminem are here. We'll be right back.
I love my mother, you know. She lives right beside me here. She's great. I don't think my mother has ever spoken a word that had any irony in it. You know what I mean? Like, she's just earnest. She's just happy. She knows how to love. She doesn't judge, you know?
Oh, he definitely wanted to. I'm sorry,
No, no, you go, Adam.
I was just going to say he definitely wanted to make the point he loves his mom.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's a
Because it was like a
tearjerker,
moment where you just have this glimpse where he takes a pause and he's like, she's great.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, she'll go sometimes to the grocery store and come back. The other day, she did this. She come back, she said, oh, man, funny thing happened in the grocery store. I said, what happened, Mom? She said, a woman came in and bought a grapefruit, and it cost $1.69, and last week, it cost $1.19. And then I said, well, that's not a story, let alone a funny story. I don't even think that would be considered a story. Think about that unconscious, subconscious thing, because I remember my buddy one time, he's in psychology, he went to college, this guy, and I love milk, right? So we were eating a meal one time, and so I take a drink of milk, and my friend goes, you know why you're drinking that milk, right, Norm? And I say to him, it's not because I like milk, I know that. Because I know this guy, you know. So he goes, no, it's not. He goes, the reason you're drinking that milk is because you miss sucking on your mother's breast. I'm like, ah. Now, you guys don't know my mother. But she's wonderful. She's a saint. You know how people, say their mothers are saints? My mother is actually a saint. So, I mean, she hasn't performed 2 miracles, right? I guess she's not actually a saint, but she's much more saint-like than your fucking mother. That's what I'm saying. But there was a generation, like my mother's 85, there was a generation of women that you all know. Maybe it was your mother, maybe it was your grandmother. But they lived at a time, and I support you, me too, you too. More than anything, because, for the young girls, it's going to be fantastic. But no one like my mother will ever exist again. And it's just this generation of women that were so, selfless, and like my mother would be, the type of woman, like at dinner time, everyone's eating, and she's in the kitchen, and everybody have a second, are you sure? And then, oh, but the turnips, and wanted to make sure everybody got, and then she would, whatever was left, she would make a little plate for herself, and that's what my mother was like. Still is, she lives right beside me. Her eyes shine love. I've never heard her say a phrase that had any irony flecked in, she just been so happy, Like, she'll come back to the grocery store, she'll go, Norm, the funniest thing happened at the store. I say, what happened, Mom? She says, there was a woman buying pineapple. It was $1.69 last week, and this week it was $1.19. I'm like, that's not a story, you old bag. What the fuck? A story has to, I don't say that, but I would trade places with my mother in a second, because all she knows is love, how to love people. That's hard, man. That's hard. Anyways, I forgot why you brought that up. Oh, I remember. I don't want to suck her tits. So maybe I'm shallow. I want to suck my tits, all right? So anyways, I'm having this discussion with this guy at the fucking restaurant, and now, after he tells me this, the milk is still there. And what the fuck am I gonna do? Guzzle it? Milk, I can't just leave it there. It was the worst. Whatever. Oh, and then it came time to order our entrees.
You know what this guy gets? 2 meatballs and a banana. I'm like, hey! Wait, it wasn't even on the menu. Like he had to. What's good for the goose is this is just absolutely. I read about that subconscious, unconscious. They said when you pick a president, this is an election year. This is kind of some word. Apropos. You ever say a word, you go, I hope this is what it means.
I'm here with my son Norman, and we're going to tell you some jokes about President's Day. What do we call George Washington's false teeth? His presidentures. What U.S. president has long legs, a black beard, and an unusual smell? Abraham Stinker.
Today I went to the board to be examined. The opinions were divided. They debated and debated and finally decided that I am not mad. But that is only because I used every ounce of my strength not to speak out. I did not speak out because I am afraid of the madhouse. I am afraid that they will not let me do my mad deed.
What would George Washington be if he was alive today? Really, really old. How many of Trump's senior presidential aides do you need to make a light bulb? None. They're meant to keep him in the dark.
They declared that I was prone to certain sorts of affectations and such, but that still, I was in my right mind. As for myself, I know that I am mad.
What would you have if you crossed a vegetable with the first president? George Washington.
The doctor prescribed me something and told me if I followed it strictly, that I would not be troubled anymore. Oh, what I would do not to be troubled anymore. It is too tormenting. But I will tell you in due order how I came to be examined, how I lost my mind, and why my madness betrayed me.
Happy President's Day.
Hey everybody.
Business news, Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg is facing a $1 billion tax bill this year. Now that's
he pays $1 billion in taxes?
In tax. That's a lot of money.
Good problem to have, right,
Yeah,
Tom?
that's not bad.
God damn.
Absolutely. $1 billion.
$1 billion, that's more than my dad made in his lifetime.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. This guy's carping about that. How old is this guy?
I don't know. I think he's in his mid-20s, maybe? I have to look that up.
And most of these, I feel these rich kids are unknown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's known because of that movie.
Yeah.
But I think most of them. I think that these super billionaire guys keep themselves unknown, so we don't find out and go to their house.
Oh yeah.
Don't
He's
you
probably not the real. You know, he's just sort of like the there's much bigger billionaires.
You think
than
there's
these
bigger guys?
I think they're living on an island somewhere.
Yeah.
They're just running everything.
Because when you hear about it, how much money the richest guys have, nobody. I mean, I know Sandler. He doesn't have nearly that much money. You know what I mean? And he's the richest guy, and he's super rich.
Yeah, if you had, you probably don't want to make a big show. Yeah, they probably have the cure for cancer. They're probably selling all the drugs that we're all taking, all the drugs. They're selling all that stuff. They got all the cures. They're living on an island.
The United Paramount Network's new show, Star Trek Voyager, finished in first place Monday night with a 14.7 rating. For those of you who don't know, one rating point is equal to 950,000 nerds. Well, this week, world chess champion Garry Kasparov defeated an IBM computer in their 6-game chess series. Experts are calling the encounter between chess wizard and supercomputer historic because, for the first time ever, it brought together both geeks and nerds. After numerous requests, the National Institute of Health has finally granted funds to the University of New Mexico in order to test mice for the deadly hantavirus. Although I'm sure the government would have acted a lot sooner if instead of mice, the hantavirus was killing off rich white guys. And in Brunswick, Maine, an outbreak of the deadly canine parvovirus has led to the local Humane Society killing many of its dogs. Gee, I wonder if the Humane Society would kill off victims of canine parvo if instead of dogs, they were rich old white guys. Wildlife officials in Maryland say that increased hunting will be necessary to control the state's black bear population. Gee, I wonder if hunting would be the answer if instead of overpopulation of black bears, there were an overpopulation of rich old white men. Yeah. Then I wonder.
Those are the motherfuckers that fucking introduced crack into my neighborhood last month.
You have a crack problem?
Well, now I do, because those fuckers introduced crack into the neighborhood.
Really?
And what they don't tell you about crack is, god damn, it's good.
Yeah. Where in your neighborhood there's a crack?
Yeah, it's huge crack.
So you can just step out the front door now and there's a crack readily available now?
Well, I sell it.
Yeah.
But I'm using so much of it now.
Yeah.
But I'm still getting fat.
Yeah. Well,
I don't quite understand.
How is that even possible?
I don't know.
I was going to ask you
I have to
that.
talk to a gastroenterologist.
You don't have any now, do you? Any crack now?
Oh, no, I don't know.
No,
after you do it for a while, you do not share.
Yeah.
I learned that one the hard way.
You go, I'm out. But meanwhile, you're not out, and you do everyone else's crack with them.
Yeah.
And then you sneak off into the bathroom and do your own crack.
Right. Yeah, just good idea.
Yeah. That's... Morphine's good too. There's one called crocodile. Have you ever heard of crocodile?
No, I haven't. In international news.
Wait, are you gonna have Thanksgiving though? Thanksgiving's coming up.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. We're gonna have a lot of time. We're gonna go see my uncle. I saw my uncle the other day. Oh, my uncle, he's having troubles, Conan.
Why is he having trouble?
You know my uncle Basil?
I don't know him.
No, but I've talked to him before.
Yeah, you've mentioned him. Yeah.
Yeah. He's having troubles. His memory's not too good, you know, and it's not, thank God, it's not Alzheimer's or anything like that. But when a guy gets old, he starts forgetting. His memory starts, he doesn't, remember.
Right.
So I went to him, I went and talked to him, and I said to him, because I heard he got this new medicine for his memory at the doctor's.
Yeah.
So I said to him, I said, Uncle Basil, I said, how's that memory stuff working out, medicine? He says, it's going good. I said, what's it called, that medicine, memory medicine?
That memory medicine, yeah.
I said, what's it called? What's the name of it? He goes, oh, the name of it. What is it now? Again, I can't remember now. He says, what's the
what's the name of that flower you give to people? And I said, I don't know. What, a tulip? And he said, no, not a tulip. He said, it's what is it now? It's a kind of a flower people wear. I said, is it a carnation? I don't know, Uncle Basil. He says, no, what the hell is it called? It's red. I said, I don't know, a rose? He said, yes. He said, Rose, what's the name of that medicine that the doctor gave me?
You rapscallion. Now listen, we want to talk about your uncle, because every time you come on the show, you have a story about your uncle who lives up in Canada.
Oh, yeah, he's a Frenchman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you always have like a little story about him.
Jean-Luc. Oh, yeah, he's a crazy character, that dude. He originally visited New York City. Hello?
I'm just having a drink. I can listen to you and have a drink. It's not like I went like this. Hold it. Ooh. Ah, liquid. Huh? I'm still here. Let's see if I got this right. You've got an uncle, lives up in Canada, named Jean-Luc.
Jean-Luc.
Occasionally he visits. Once time he visited New York.
So I'm living in New York, you know? And Jean-Luc, I'm excited. Jean-Luc's going to come by, my crazy Frenchman uncle. So he gets in the cab, right?
When he gets to the airport.
Yeah, when he gets to the airport, the cab driver picks him up, and the cab driver says to him, hey, Frenchman, he says, do you like riddles, you know? So my uncle Jean-Luc is like, yes, I love the riddles. That's how he talks. He goes, I like nothing better than a riddle. So the cabbie's like, all right, here's one, right? So he says, here's the riddle. His brothers and sisters, I have none, but this man's father is my father's son. So my uncle goes, I don't know. Right? So the cabbie goes, it's me. It's me.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Oh, he thinks about it. Oh, by God, he says, that's a good riddle there. He says, I have to tell my wife, Mary Claire, when I get back to Gaspé. That's where he lives, Gaspé.
Right.
So he's like, take me back to the airport. And the cabbie's like, what? Right? The cabbie's like, I thought you wanted to go visit Norm then. No. I go back to the airport. All right, I have to tell Mary Claire. Seems odd, right? Gets back on the plane, flies all the way back home there to Gaspé. And he gets back, right? Runs in the door. Mary Claire, where's vous? Where are you, Mary Claire? Come on down here. I have a riddle for you. She goes, oh, Jean-Luc, I love the riddle. She's a woman, high voice.
Michael Jackson was visiting. Yeah, all right.
So, you're going to love this riddle. How was New York? Forget about that. I got the riddle. Brothers and sisters, I have none. But this man's father is my father's son. She goes, I don't know. Who is it? Some cab driver back in New York.
You didn't mean to do that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Be honest, you didn't mean to do that.
At all. I just got to the end. That guy, man, I always tell my uncle, you shouldn't curse so much.
Oh, man. All right. We're going to pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
So you got a week off.
Yeah, I got a week off coming up. After this show, I got a week off, so it's going to be great.
Do you see your family much?
Every break, I like to go back and see my folks, and also my uncles and aunts and all that, they're great people. The old people, what I find about the old people is...
Just in general.
In general, they had so much more interesting lives than we do, Like, you know what I mean? Like we go out, our generation, we go, okay, hey, let's go to a movie, and then we'll do the laundry and get some quarters for the laundry, and then we'll have read the Sports Illustrated, and whatever, right?
Right.
But these guys, they had lives, where they, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah. So anyways, for instance, my Uncle Phil. You ever meet my Uncle Phil?
I didn't meet your Uncle Phil, no.
Oh, you didn't? He was...
Yeah, we don't know each other that well. Remember?
That's true.
No,
So,
I've not met your Uncle Phil.
He's a good man, Uncle Phil. So he he was telling me, you know, he's just one of these guys that has so many lives pushed into one. He just does so many things, you know. Mm-hmm. And he was telling me, he says, he's a kind of a jack of all trades, you'd call him.
Yeah. That's a good phrase.
Yeah, he's a jack of all trades. So he was telling me, he said, the problem is you're not really appreciated for any single thing because you're so good at so many things. You understand what I mean?
I hear you.
Yeah. So he said to me one time, he says, Norm, he says, we were just walking through his town, you know, of Monkland, Maine he lives in. And we were just walking through the town. He's an old fella, you know?
Right, one of the old people.
Yeah, he's 80.
Yeah, 80, okay.
80 years young, he says. So he goes, Norm, you see that barn over there, he says to me. I look over, there's a barn. I go, yeah, yeah. He goes, I built that barn with my own hands, all by myself. But he goes, do they call me, do they say there's Phil, the barn builder? No, sir, he says. I said, yeah, yeah. He goes, look over there, you see that weather balloon? He says, you don't know this about me, Norm. He says, I was one of the first men ever to fly in a weather balloon. Wow. He says, but do they say, hey, there goes Phil, the weather balloon pioneer? No. He says, look over there, there's a bakery that I started. You know, that dirty bastard Bob has it now, but I'm the guy that started that bakery. And I go, all right, easy. And he goes, I started that bakery and I was the best baker, but does anybody go, oh, there goes Phil, the great baker? No, he says, but he says, let me tell you something, Norm. He says, you have sex with one goat. And... He says, people then, they say, there goes Bill, the dirty goat.
Get rid of that. We don't need that microphone anymore, do we? Wow, well, I do want to meet this man someday. He sounds fascinating.
I need your love. You free my mind. I need your love.
Let me ask you quickly, we haven't talked to you in so long, I want to ask you about your family.
My great family. I love them all.
How's your, we used to talk in the old days, you and I used to spin some yarns about Uncle Hector. How's Uncle Hector?
Oh, Uncle Hector. Uncle Hector.
He's Polish too, I'm guessing.
No, he wasn't Polish.
Oh, okay.
No, he was from my cousin's side of the family. And he was a great man, my uncle, you know. Right. He was an old fella. He actually rode the rails during the Depression.
Oh.
You know, he was a hobo.
Hobo.
As you might call him. I don't like that term, but whatever.
Tramp or whatever, what have you.
Railroad bum. And, but he wasn't a bum. He was just out. He was a good, honest man during the Depression searching for work, you know. And, you know, he had no money, so he'd travel the country trying to find work, and he actually rode the rails, Uncle Hector. And he told me, it was an interesting story, he'd go through, this was in Canada, and there's a town called Kitchener in Canada, and the railroad cops were tough, boy. They were tougher than real cops, you know. They had a law of their own, the railroad cops.
I feel like I should be tucked into bed listening to you. Anyway, a law of their own, those railroad cops.
But there was not a railroad cop tougher than Kitchener Leslie. Oh, boy. He was well known. He was well known for beating hobos to death.
Really? He'd find a hobo on his train, he'd beat him to death.
He'd beat him to death. And so what the railroad bums would all do is, as Kitchener approached, of course... Oh, hey, Norm, how you doing? So...
Wow, such focus on these stories.
That wasn't a mirror. That was another guy.
Oh, it was a guy named Norm.
Yeah. So the railroad bums would all hop off before they got to Kitchener to avoid being beaten to death by Kitchener Leslie.
Yeah.
Anyways, my Uncle Hector, a good man, you know, and he walked into a mine one day. This is a story for that I think the young people could learn from.
Don't go mine hopping, kids.
During the height of the Depression, where there was absolutely no work, my Uncle Hector walked into I won't say the name of the mining company. It was McIntyre Mine, and he walked in. He had his lunchbox with him and his work boots, and he said, "Sir," he said, "I want a job." And they said, "We have no jobs." He said, "Well, 500 people work here at McIntyre Mine." He goes, I don't think there are 500 men here better than I. He says, as a matter of fact, I don't think there are 200 men better than I. He says, I think you'd be strapped to find 100 men better than I. And by golly, he got the job. What do you think of that?
That's a great story.
Now,
I'm sensing there's more. Now back to Kitchener-Leslie.
Yeah.
The most dreaded.
No. Uncle Hector.
What?
No.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to help you out.
No, Uncle Hector.
Dad, where's this story going?
Uncle Hector worked in a mine, and it's a hellish job, the mine, as you well know. Darkness,
It's dank. It's
dank.
Yeah.
It's coaly. It's a lot of.
What?
Well, you're in a coal mine.
It's not coaly. It's coal-ridden.
It's
coal-infested. It's not coaly.
It's coal-infested. So he worked in the mine, and by God, he worked hard. And after a week of working hard, he said to the shift manager, he said, by golly, I'd like to have a lady. I work hard, and where would I find a lady here in town? Well, they said to Uncle Hector, they says, we have sex with animals here. By God, says Uncle Hector, I'm not going to do that. I'm a normal fella. Well, then be to your own devices then. So,
be to your own devices?
Yeah.
Wow.
Uncle Hector continued working in the mine. He worked hard, and he worked long, and he worked for a low wage. But he was a man. And Uncle Hector, after a couple of weeks passed, he started to get a little itch, as you and I say.
Right. Right. When we're thinking about the
ladies,
yeah.
But he kept it under control. He went again. He said, "Are you sure there's no ladies here?" "No, we have sex with animals." Ah, my God. 6 months passed, and Uncle Hector couldn't take it any longer. He told me.
Right.
He said, "By God, I just had to. I'm just a man. I'm weak. I'm not a saint. And I was born in sin, I suppose, and I couldn't resist." I just needed it. So he said he walked by a pasture, and there was a pig.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. And so Uncle Hector said, well, he said, I walked up, and I began having sex with a pig. And he said, all of a sudden, he saw all the miners, around him, looking at him. They go, Uncle Hector, what the hell are you doing over there? And Uncle Hector's indignant. He's like, what? Well, you're the guys that told me that you have sex with animals. They're like, Uncle Hector, you damn fool. That's Kitchener-Leslie's girlfriend. Of all the
animals to have sex with.
You don't want to have sex
and not with Kitchener-Leslie's pig. No, that's terrible.
Not Kitchener-Leslie's pig. Kitchener-Leslie's lady.
Oh, yeah.
Dad would always tell this joke, and it was about a little boy called Dirty Johnny. And he'd be in class. You ever heard Dirty Johnny?
The Dirty Johnny jokes, yes. Heard the whole series.
In this in this joke, he's not dirty. But anyways, the teacher has a thing, and the teacher says, today in class, we are going to have a little experiment. You're going to tell a story from your real life, and then afterwards, you are going to tell the moral of that story. So Sheila puts up her hand, and the teacher says, Sheila, what's your story? So Sheila says, well, my dad works at the hatchery, and he took some eggs, and he put them all in a basket. All the eggs he put in one basket. And then he put them in the horse and buggy, and off we went to town, and the earth was uneven, and the eggs broke. And the teacher goes, well, that's an all right story, but I can't understand what the moral would be to that story. So Sheila says, well, the moral is, don't put all of your eggs into one basket. So the teacher says, well, by God, this is exactly what I'm looking for and what I was hoping for with this experiment.
Yeah.
And anybody else have one? So Marjorie puts up her hand. Okay, Marjorie, what's your story? Well, my father works for the hatchery. Most of us.
Most people in that town worked in the hatchery.
Worked at the hatchery.
Thank God for the hatchery, she says. Or where would we be? So she says, my father, he sells chickens. And he knows that eggs become chickens. See what I mean? So he had to count his chickens so he could go and sell them in town. So he had 9 chickens and 5 eggs. So instead of saying he had 9 chickens, he added the 5 eggs. You see, he counted them as chickens. So he said, I have 14 chickens. So he took them, Sheila says, and put them in the horse and buggy, and off they went to town, but the land was uneven. The chickens survived easily. They frolicked. The eggs broke. Well, the teacher says again, it's a story, you know. But what on earth could the moral of that story be? Well, Sheila says, if that's her name, I forgot. She says, don't count your chickens before they hatch out of the eggs.
Right.
Teacher says you could probably shorten it a little. So, but that's great. And that's exactly what we're looking for. And then she looks at the back of the class, and by God, there's the upraised hands, as you say, fucking dirty Johnny.
Fucking dirty Johnny. He's going to ruin the lesson.
So the teacher, inside of her head, her thoughts are moving around, and she's like, God, I don't want to hear dirty Johnny saying it. This is going so well, but at the same time, I took a vow and I became a teacher that every student. All right, Johnny, let's hear your story. So dirty Johnny gets up and he says, this is a story about my Uncle Terry. He didn't work for the hatchery. He didn't even like people that did. He was in Vietnam. And he lives on the disability checks he got. Uncle Terry was not a popular man, not even among those he worked with. And I suppose we've all heard of people who've deserted from their battalion. But I don't know if you've ever heard of a battalion deserting a man. That's what they did with Uncle Terry. One day, Uncle Terry awoke in the middle of Da Nang, and everybody was gone. He was alone, and they'd left him 3 bottles of Jack Daniels and some weaponry. So, Uncle Terry got up, says Dirty Johnny, and he downed the bottle of Jack Daniels in 2 slugs, and he threw it down and smashed it into the jungle. And then he walked, picked up the 2 Kalashnikovs and 3 or 4 Glocks and a couple of hand grenades, and off he walked into the unknown, the jungle, his fate. Came upon a village, and from the village came people. Now, were they Charlie, or were they the people that Terry was sent to protect from Charlie? Uncle Terry didn't know. But he knew he had to do something, so he took another swig from the bottle, and he let loose. Took that Kalashnikov, and he let it sway like a farmer would a scythe. And the bullets came, and just as hay would fall before a farmer, so the people fell before Uncle Terry. The men, the women, and by God, even the children. And finally, Uncle Terry stood alone in the mud and the blood and the guts and only at himself. He took a long swig, and his hand brushed against his pants, and he felt wetness, and then he felt shame because he realized he had urinated himself in fear. And then Upon closer inspection, he realized it was not urine. It's ejaculate. And his shame was replaced by pride. And the teacher goes, holy fucking shit, what the fuck? Fucking kind of fucking story is that? Like, we just heard the hatchery and shit, and now this? She goes, Uncle Terry, well, Dirty Johnny, what on earth could be the moral to such a story? So Johnny thinks about it for a couple of minutes, and he goes, well, I don't know, I guess. Well, I know one thing. You don't fuck with Terry when he's had some drink in him. And he's uncorked the jug. You stay away from Uncle Terry. And he doesn't like anybody that works at the hatchery either. You remember that. You tell your parents that.
Wow.
He did this bit for us that he insisted on doing.
Sully Sullenberger?
Yes. He did a bit where he came out and he's like, yeah, Conan, I've made a movie. And I'm like, oh, really? You've made a movie? And yeah, I funded it myself. And it was about Sully Sullenberger, who landed.
Sully Sullenberger biography.
Yeah, biography about the pilot who landed the plane. And I think maintained that he did this. He had this idea before Tom Hanks. So he's a little indignant.
Well, it was actually, we showed it before Hanks ever made the movie.
Oh, is that true? Okay,
yes.
All right. It was 2009.
It was right after Sully Sullenberger heroically landed on the Hudson.
And so he shot this thing, and he got to our show early, and of course it looks like shit because we just had
it's fast,
with the barest cockpit set.
Are you familiar with Sully Sullenberg?
The captain who landed the plane on the Hudson. Everybody knows Captain Sully Sullenberger.
Everybody now knows who he is. I've known him for quite a long time.
You knew him before this whole thing happened?
I knew him 10 years ago.
You knew Sully Sullenberger, the captain who landed the plane on the Hudson, that long?
Yes.
10 years?
Yes. And I, as soon as I first met him, I thought there's something special about this guy, and I bought his story.
You're kidding. That's fantastic. That's great.
Yeah, I met him in, where'd I meet him? Airport. I met him. It was a Sbarro's.
That adds up, yeah.
And he was getting pizzas. He was getting pepperoni. But anyway, whatever. So
to this day, I don't know what that sketch is.
Well, it was a dry bit. It was a very dry sketch.
It was one of the driest things I've ever seen.
So the idea is that Sully Sullenberger heroically landed on the Hudson like around that time.
Yeah.
He made this movie about Sully Sullenberger, but 6 months it's been in the can. So he was looking for an ending.
Yeah.
And this guy lands. So basically,
no, the joke is
the clip
he made a movie about Sully Sullenberger before he heroically landed the plane on the. So,
so the clip is him landing on the tarmac. That's
successfully. He successfully lands the plane
and says, "Thanks for flying American Airlines.
Yes,
have a good day."
So I heard you made a movie.
I made a movie.
This is going to be a huge movie. You have the movie of Captain Sully Sullenberger.
Yeah, I could. But save it up for the thing. Now listen, you know why you're standing up here. I'm just kidding you. I love you. That's why. Hey, you wanna land this?
Yeah.
Pretty well lands itself. But mostly, I know there's not enough time, but mostly we talked about it was a love story.
What? A love story with who?
Him and his wife, Lori Sungelberger. What was her name? I wrote this bit 25 minutes ago.
Do you want the clip or should we get out of here?
No, we should do the clip.
All right, take a look at this clip.
Sully, why didn't you give me a seat? Why do I
break it here, I guess?
A clip, and this must have an exciting footage.
Well, well.
This story, the end of this story is incredible. When the engines go out and
the movie's been in the can for 6 months.
You made a movie about Captain Sully Sullenberger, and you finished it before he even crashed the plane on the Hudson, landed
Yeah, and it's too bad, man, because I was struggling for an ending for a long time. It's called Sully Sullenberg. Sully Sullenberger.
Burger. You clearly spent 10 years you've known this man? You didn't you forgot the at the end of his name?
I call him by a nickname, whatever. It's called Sully Sullenberger, airport pilot. But anyways, I brought a clip.
Oh, let's take a look at the clip.
Oh, can I say something?
Yeah, yeah.
I play Sully.
You play Sully in the movie? We have to see this now. Unbelievably, this was shot before the incident that made him famous, but let's take a look.
On behalf of U.S. Airline, we know you have a lot of choices to make, and we're glad you chose us. Have fun in Kansas City, everybody.
It's not a good ending.
It's a terrible ending.
It's the worst possible ending. I keep saying reshoots, and they have no money for reshoots. They're like, I said a long shot of the Hudson. Nothing.
No, that's not going to do it. And he insisted on using the woman who did his makeup, Deborah Pullman. He insisted on using her in the bit, even though it's not even clear why he needed her in the bit.
His wife, played his wife.
Yeah, played his wife. And
I have to stand here for the whole flight.
I told you, it's cheaper.
So the joke is that, amazingly, a director decides to make a movie about a random pilot, Sully Sullenberger, and makes it about a successful landing before the most dramatic landing in the history of aviation. And he showed this thing. I think he had a fake mustache on.
Yes.
But he's barely, and this is another thing I love about him. He didn't care at all about the craft of acting.
Yeah.
And I'll watch.
What's the hardest drug that Norm MacDonald's done?
I guess love.
Where did you go?
I had to go powder my nose.
Oh, man. I've never seen a guest do that before.
I had to go.
You ran away during the commercial break.
I ran away, I freshened up, I powdered my nose.
Freshened up?
And then I took a piss in the sink.
All right. Why? Why do I ask? It's my fault.
You go to, you start doing comedy, and, you know, what is interesting to me is we hear about this.
Cocaine is not working. I'm from the time, let me tell you something, Jay. I'm from the time, I remember when pot was something you cooked your eggs in. Yes. I remember when hash was something you were made out of corned beef. Yeah, exactly. I remember when acid was something you threw in a guy's face when he made a pass at your wife.
Exactly. Where are those days? Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember ecstasy when it was just the feeling you had when you threw that vile acid in the guy's face.
So wouldn't you love to ask Dole, like when he was doing the commercial for what they now call erectile dysfunction?
Yeah.
And I mean, how do you feel when you sit down and do that kind of a commercial? I mean, it's got to be a little embarrassing, you know.
I don't feel that an old man should have erectile function. No, just thinking, you know, because they have that Viagra thing out.
Yeah.
And the other day, you know, Bob Dole came right out and said
he was one of the first.
Yeah. And you don't want to hear about Bob Dole's cock, you know. I mean, President Clinton's cock, Bob Dole's cock, what the hell? But mostly, an old man like that, you don't want him to have a super hard cock. You know what I mean?
Why?
Why? Because an old man, you want him to be got a pipe going, a newspaper, the dog at his feet there.
Well, that in some corners is considered pipe.
Oh. But now they're going to have to create some goddamn pill that makes women aroused at the sight of a fucking 70-year-old dude with a super hard cock. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. This is Viagra. It's insane. And you know what it's for? Impotent people. All right, it's for impotent guys. So get this. I read this. The pill can make your cock hard for 4 hours.
Right.
So now, who has the 4-hour hard cock? The impotent guy. The rest of us are fucked. Me and you got our regular cocks. Meanwhile, fucking Spade is, you know.
Curtis Spade.
Oh, man. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it coming.
Dude, I know you didn't. He brought it all around and then a vicious rib kick into his best friend's gut.
Once there's too much cock talk, I try to just zone out for a minute till it goes back the other way.
If there's too much cock talk, this guy has fevered nightmares all night. Dreams, I mean, like sweaty, fevered dreams from the cock talk that's been all over his head.
Why bury me twice? He's killing me.
No, he's a good man.
That erased it. All right.
No, he's a good man.
Who cares?
After all that, that's the whiteout he puts on.
Yeah, I know, it's awesome.
After he talks about you doing chin-ups on cock for 18 minutes, he goes, no, he's a good guy.
Just backstage, a lot of celebrities back there, man. I was talking to Jerry Jones, you know, the Cowboys owner, and he's disappointed, obviously. Yeah. Well, he's a good guy, though, man. He's talking about rebuilding the team, you know. And he told me, he says, we have to get back to what made us a championship team. Strippers and crack.
And of course, it was very inspiring to see President Clinton up here on crutches making a speech. I mean, I thought that was just amazing, you know. I mean, it's been difficult for the president. You know, he can't jog now, and he needs help getting around, and he still occasionally suffers great pain, you know. On the upside, you got your medical marijuana, so that's, you know. You must inhale, sir. It's the only way you're going to get better. The show has loosened up considerably. I noticed I was watching Oprah and Dave talking about weed and booze. I don't do either of those. The hardest drug I ever did, LSD. And I remember I was a kid, I was like 16, and I remember they warned me, they said, hey, you gotta be careful with that LSD on account of you can get a flashback. 10 years can go by, 20 years, 30 years, and a flashback will happen. So I thought, hey, that seems like a good deal. You know, you tell me I buy a drug for $5, I eat it, I get high, and then 20 years later I get high again? That's not the point. I like to stretch my drug dollar. The point is this. 10 years have passed, 20 years have passed, 30 years have passed, and no flashbacks. What a gyp that turned out to be. Just more horse by the big acid companies, that's all it is. All right. I want to apologize for running out earlier. I don't know if anybody saw that. But, you know, these things happen in live TV, and it reminds me actually of a maxim that Christopher Plummer told me many years ago. He said, before a live awards ceremony, do not eat a fistful of LSD. Take that with you.
Now, Norm, I remember years ago you told me that you were there for the birth of your son, and I always remember this. And you said that was the most exciting thing you had ever participated in. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes. And then what happened?
I took crystal meth.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I didn't know what you were getting at.
That's right. No, and then you said a couple of weeks later you went skydiving.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah, that was what it was. Yeah. or hang gliding, yeah, hang gliding. And how was that compared to the birth? It was.
This was a joke I did at one point?
I have to do your act for you now? Is that what it's come to? And you said that was much more exciting than the birth.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's whoops.
I assume anyone smiling is on meth. Veterinarians in Colorado have reported that marijuana use is on the rise amongst dogs. They say you'll know if your dog is too high if it starts making a really tall sandwich.
They like sweets better when they're high.
Yes, I don't know.
In England, a woman was arrested for throwing a birthday party for her 16-year-old son that included marijuana, alcohol, and strippers. Now she's got even bigger problems. What to do for his 17th birthday.
Whatever.
The street drug Special K has been found to be an excellent treatment for depression. This according to the New England Journal of Gary Busey.
You know, dogs and humans love to run because it apparently gives them a natural high similar to that of marijuana, according to the University of Arizona. Wow. After running what are called cannabinoids, the chemical found in marijuana that gives you a feeling of euphoria, are higher in humans and dogs, and this encourages them to run again. To 7-Eleven for a Slurpee. A Papa John's delivery man has been arrested for allegedly selling more than $40,000 in cocaine hidden in pizza boxes.
Jesus.
To undercover police officers. This raises an important question. Where is all that pizza that was supposed to go in those boxes? Can I have them to eat? I'm a big fat guy.
A Florida University student was caught streaking on campus and apparently told police he was on acid and asked them to cut his dick off. Boy, these kids today are crazy. In my day, we didn't need drugs. We would just cut our own dicks off.
Yeah, you didn't need no fucking acid and shit. When did you gain the weight?
Well, I fluctuated a lot throughout my life. But
how did you gain it?
Eating and not exercising.
Would that be your natural weight, or do you have to fight that all the time?
Well, yeah, I think I have to fight it to a degree. Yeah.
And how did you lose the weight?
Cocaine.
Cocaine?
Cocaine. Mostly, yeah, cocaine and other drugs, and very, very serious depression.
That helps me a lot, Dr. Oz.
Is that what I think it is?
I don't know. Do you think it's cocaine?
Yep.
Well, you're partly right. It's cocaine, and it's also a lot of baby laxative. So you might want
a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I'll be
careful, because it burns like hell when the
yeah.
The actor who appeared in commercials for many years as the Marlboro Man has died of lung cancer. Asked if he contracted the disease by smoking, a spokesperson for the tobacco industry responded by saying, "What's that behind you?" then ran away. The U.S. Tobacco Company has announced that between now and December 31, it will donate a portion of its sales, at least $1 million, to the National Volunteer Fire Council. In return, U.S. Tobacco asked that for the rest of the year, everyone pretend that cigarettes don't cause cancer. According to newly released confidential memos, presidents of the nation's largest tobacco companies decided as early as 1964 that cigarettes should contain increasingly higher and higher levels of nicotine. Asked to comment, a spokesman for the tobacco industry said, "Really, that's interesting." Then got plastic surgery and moved to France. A new study funded by tobacco giant Philip Morris claims that the nicotine in cigarettes may actually help prevent Alzheimer's disease. Executives at Philip Morris caution that the study is not conclusive, but just to be safe, everyone on Earth should start smoking. Earlier this year, the Liggett Group paid out more than $750 million in a court settlement when it was admitted that its cigarettes are addictive. And this week, the tobacco company unveiled its new warning label. It reads, "Warning, don't try to sue us, we don't have any money left." The FDA has approved a drug used for anti-depression to help people quit smoking cigarettes. Although it should be noted, the drug is crack. So... Richard Thomas of Chicago is taking a novel approach to getting his wife Sally to quit smoking. He is suing her in U.S. District Court, asking a judge to order her to quit. Legal experts say that considering all factors, Mr. Thomas actually has a very good chance of never having sex with his wife again. According to new medical studies, exposure to secondhand smoke dramatically increases a non-smoker's risk of getting heart disease and lung cancer. Jubilant tobacco company executives say the study proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that non-smoking can kill you. That one wasn't very good, but try to laugh anyway, because it helps Farley have a little rest. The most restrictive smoking ban in the nation took effect this week in New York, and already the city has gained over 9,000 pounds. Well, the Learning Annex in New York is offering a new course to teach women how to smoke cigars. The fee to enroll in the class is $100. The fee to watch the class is $200. A new study says that people who quit smoking have healthier lungs. Yet another groundbreaking story from the pages of the medical journal, Duh. A recent consumer poll showed that Hershey is America's favorite company, while Philip Morris is America's least favorite. In the middle, the company that makes chocolate cigarettes. Right in the middle. Postal authorities removed a cigarette from a photo of blues artist Robert Johnson to help dignify the musician in a new stamp they've issued in his honor. This isn't the first time the post office has altered a photograph. In fact, the original photo used on the Elvis stamp was based on this photo. King enjoying a hoagie.
Get off me! Get off me! I'm the real Annie! Get off me, you fat bastard! Get off me, you fat bastard!
Oh, that was fun, wasn't it?
Craig used to be on a show called The Drew Carey Show.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And you did the show right next door. You had the Norm MacDonald show right next door.
And then I remember you were like, we had trailers, and I'd always be in my trailer. I like to go to my trailer and smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then you'd be in your trailer, and you'd be writing movies, and then directing movies, and then you'd be writing books.
Yeah. It was because I was trying to not smoke.
But people are waylaid by your laid-back image. They don't realize what a furnace of ambition you are.
Hey, that's true. I am. I zig when they zag. That's what it is. Yeah. Listen, it's good. You don't smoke anymore. You look like healthy. You.
No, I quit smoking. Yeah, I read that on the side of the thing.
What did you say? It's dangerous.
It can kill you.
No.
Yeah, I realized like I was smoking all the time, and it's like you smoke and you don't even get high. And
well, you can't. They're not mutually exclusive. You can get high and smoke. It's not like you have to make a choice.
No, I'm saying the cigarettes do not.
Get you high.
Yeah.
Well, you could. There's a substance you can put in them though, if you want.
Oh yeah, no, I don't do drugs or alcohol.
Neither do I.
You used to be. I thought you were alcoholic.
Gosh, Norm.
Tom has drank for as long as I've known him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I drink, yeah. I'm starting to smoke, too.
You've started smoking?
I'm starting now. I'm just starting.
It's harder than you think. You should probably start with a patch.
Yeah. No, I actually started with the e-cigarettes.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I was smoking those for the last couple of months.
I think you actually were.
Yeah, and then gradually built up sort of an addiction to the nicotine.
So you work backwards.
Yeah.
Do you think we stop saying N-rig, which means, you know, or N-rich, or nigger-rich, or nigger-rig, which were terms that some people are going, were they terms? Because, well, it's a fine. Or do you think we just shouldn't use people?
What'd they say when you, hey, stop with that joint there, you're getting spit out.
So, no, hold on a second. So most people would say that we stopped those things because it was egregious.
Yes.
I know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I know.
And so you have to say,
another
example. So if the
you know, all afternoon, as we do this, you've been playing on and off with a cigarette. Do you smoke?
I quit smoking a year ago.
Good for you.
Thank you. You quit smoking?
Yeah.
And you, when you smoked at the Tomorrow Show...
We puffed. We didn't smoke. We puffed.
You probably caused many children to start smoking.
So you hold a cigarette and you never light it?
Yes, it helps me. I have an oral fixation, the doctors tell me. That never... I'm like Beretta.
Are you doing this to be a funny thing, or do you really have to kind of
I'm doing
feel
it. No, I feel that I have an oral fixation. You know about that.
I don't have that, by the way.
If it's
I don't
not
like
this, I go straight. You don't like sucking cock?
I don't like sucking cock. I mean, I have done it.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. You know why I wouldn't like it?
Why?
Aren't those animals, like inside the cum? Like I remember
the sperm. You mean?
Yeah. So to me, like it's a bunch of animals and stuff.
Take me on a journey. Take me far away from this life. I'd leave it in a hurry. Let's run away before morning like you came.
Okay, since nicotine is such an addictive drug, do you think someday you'll have to have a prescription to buy a pack of cigarettes?
Well, you know, they always bring up the Constitution and talk about how we should still have the right to a militia and all that. But let's face facts, this country was built on tobacco growers. So, you know, if you're going to start changing, if you're not going to change one thing because it comes from way back then, you can't change this either. There are farmers out there who make a living. Tobacco is one of the crops that got this country going. So, no, I don't think they'll ever make it illegal.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't make it illegal. I know.
I think Norm's backing me up on that. What motivated you to quit?
Well, I guess, you know, I read this thing about how it was like a phallic symbol, and that my doctor went in, he said, you probably have an oral fixation, which you know what that means. Let's not kid ourselves, right? So, that's why I always smoke like cigarettes instead of cigars, because if I'm going to have I like a little white thin cock, you know?
Are we back to cocks again, huh? I go away to Ohio, Middletown, the center of the universe, to take a nice clean call, and then I space out. I'm thinking, I can't listen to Norm for a second. I got to get a time cue here. I come back, and you're talking about having a thin white cock in your...
I don't have a thin white cock. In my cock, you mean?
No.
In my mouth. No, you misunderstand. What I'm saying is this. I'm just saying...
Don't make the mistake of thinking I fucking listen to you.
I just want to make it clear about that cock thing. I was just saying, if I ever was gay, if they like suddenly made it mandatory or something, then I would choose the smallest cock, and I would like a guy that came fast. I don't know. I thought the subject was cock.
No, cocks is next week.
I'm sorry. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Norm MacDonald, ladies and gentlemen.
Great. What was your father's favorite joke?
My father's favorite joke? Yep. Well, he had a joke, roses are gray, violets are gray, tulips are gray, because I am a dog.
Thank you. That was close.
That was fast.
Yeah.
Have a favorite quick joke of your dad's?
Sometimes he would go, try to think of the guy's name. He'd go, there's a fella named, what was his name? I go, it doesn't matter. So he goes, a fella, Bill, and he couldn't remember. So he went to the doctor to get memory pills, and they worked. And then his friend come over, Elmer, he says, what were those memory pills you got? I want to get them. What are they called? Oh, Elmer says, I can't remember. He says, what's the name of that flower? The other guy goes, I don't know. There's lots of flowers. A tulip? No, Elmer says that's not it. It's you put it in for a carnation. No, Elmer says that's not it. Long-stemmed, romantic flower. Oh, a rose. Yes, Elmer says. Rose. What was the name of that medication the doc gave me? You want to hear my dad's favorite joke?
Yeah.
He says he was from the farm, and he says a guy comes from the city. City slicker comes and he buys a farm, and the farmer next door comes over to him and says, "Hey, now, would you like to come over to my house tonight? We're going to have a big shindig for you because we're neighborly here." And the city guy said, "Well, this is something I really like, that this is why I moved to the farm, to have things like this, Guy says it'll be a hell of a big party, He goes, it'll be, a little drinking, a little fighting, a little fucking, And the city guy goes, "Well, that sounds good. What time should I be here?" And the farmer goes, "Anytime you like, just the two of us." So they would drink, then get in a fight,
and fuck. It's your dad's favorite joke.
That was my dad's favorite joke.
Connected to our senses. Found a way to let you in.
And what separates me, okay, from like Hollywood directors, okay, is that I have a huge head, all right, okay. Now I don't mean I have a big ego, okay, because I don't, all right. I mean my actual head is huge, all right. I mean I have to sleep sitting up, okay, like the Elephant Man, or I'll die, all right. But okay, get this though, okay. It was my huge head, okay, that thought up who was perfect to play Marcellus's wife, all right? Okay, Walter, your character, okay, is the Gimp, okay? Now, what you have to remember about your character is that he's like, okay, he's kept in a trunk, all right? In the basement of some guy's house, okay? And he's used for deviant, hardcore gay sex, okay?
Let's do it.
Power. The thing is, okay, about Pulp Fiction, okay, is I had to figure out who was the best guy for it, okay? So, I had to look into my big misshapen head, all right?
You say I don't listen. I tell you I try. And we both got our own problems. But
he's an old man. You think Scorsese's going to be into Ant-Man versus the Wasp? Why not? But he's not going to be. All right. I don't think he would have been that into that at 37.
Norm, I'm sleeping with your wife.
You son of a bitch, motherfucker! Huh? You sleep with my fucking wife? You son of a bitch cocksucker! You're my best fucking friend, Adam! God damn you, motherfucker! I'll fucking kill you! You sleep with, that's what you were doing on fucking Friday night, were you, huh? You fucking bastard! You see you... Okay, I apologize. We had some technical difficulties. Got a little carried away. I gotta apologize. I feel partially responsible. So
What was that? You don't even have a wife. You don't even have a wife.
that's true. I never was the marrying kind. Okay, we're ready to pull the classic vodka and funnel prank. Yeah, you swallow that, you fucker. You drink that down. You don't fucking spit that out. Yeah, you like it, you fucker. Drink it. Fucking swallow that fucking...
What the fuck is...
Adam Egot.
Yeah.
Would you come in, please?
What's up? How'd it go?
I just wanted to compliment you. Yes, you have a very nice tie. I like your shirt. Louisville Slugger. Oh, God.
See that? Care enough to use a brand name. That's right, Dandy. Why don't you just say Brand X, you bum? It's called authenticity. Right, you're not worth a bent penny, you damn drunkard.
Just gotta do something, though.
Okay. What? You have like somewhere to be?
No, I just gotta do something.
Oh, no! Oh, good Christ almighty! That is a lot of pain! Oh, God, you're kicking me in the belly! Why? Oh, please stop! Okay, fair enough. Just don't kick me in the face.
Some fellas are blessed. Adam Egan, where have you been? Turns out, in a jiffy, the wig came off. You could have, by the way, why the hell did it take you so long? I had to talk to Gala for 10 minutes. You get...
I was at a party with a friend and I noticed you first, and you returned my gaze, knew how to quench my thirst. You took me to that room like a dream come true. The dance you performed was just for me and you. Kisses on the neck, then you work your way down. Let yourself go for me all around town, seductively.
Fucking suck that venom. Yeah, you fucking suck that fucking venom. Yeah, you want to spit it out? You got a fucking mouth water. Ah, fucking shoot it out of your face, you fucking cunt. You fucking whore. Ah!
Oh, thanks, dude. I didn't get any of that in my mouth.
Yeah, no problem, man. We'll be back with Simon Helber. You fucking sit down.
This Saturday, I don't know if you're aware of it, was 420, and so it was a madhouse over there.
It's April 20th?
No, 420. Yeah, it was April 20th, but 420. You know 420.
No, what's that?
How do you not know? You've never heard of 420? Well, it's a big deal. I mean, it's real popular in the culture right now, and everybody's wearing 420 shirts, and you see 420 bumper stickers, and everyone's talking about it. 420 is a code term used primarily in North America that refers to the consumption of cannabis, and by extension, a way to identify oneself with cannabis subculture. Observances based on the number 420 include smoking cannabis around the time 4:20 p.m. as well as on the date April 20th.
No, that's not what mine says.
What does yours say?
Mine says 420 was the birthday of Austrian-born German politician and the leader of the National Socialist German Workers' Party, a fella went by the name of Adolf Hitler. This guy, there's a picture of him. Adolf Hitler, very compelling kind of a figure. Odd-looking duck. But there's something about his eyes. Hypnotic.
People always fucking want to murder Hitler with their time machine, right? But then I feel if I got back there, I'd be afraid of falling under the spell of his fucking beautiful eyes.
It's true. Anyway, a widely discussed story says that a group of teenagers in San Rafael, California, used the term in connection to a fall 1971 plan to search for an abandoned cannabis crop that they had learned about.
Huh? His eyes are almost entirely black. Hold the fort. He hated Jews.
These guys, they plan to meet precisely.
You know who he reminds me of? Dave. My best friend
buddy.
Dave.
Yeah, I know Dave.
That guy hates Jews.
He sure does. I hear about it all the time.
I'm thinking of breaking up our friendship.
It's probably a good idea.
You know what? I'm sick of these kind of characters. I think we should kill Hitler. Me and you go suicide, kill him.
Yeah, it was like he died 50 years ago, probably.
Did he? I didn't even know he was sick.
He wasn't. Well, no, that's fine.
I wish I could find a Hitler of today and go kill him.
Let me ask you here, and I saw this, and you were never funnier when you hosted the show here recently, last couple of months. Oh, yeah, you were very, very funny. As you said at the time, if I wasn't funny then, how could I be funny now? Right, and then you went on to demonstrate. In any event...
I want to take a look at the moment when, after you'd gotten, you lost your job at Saturday Night Live, they then invited you back on to host, like 18 months later, right?
Yeah, it was odd.
Yeah, and you were kind of musing on stage in your introduction about what had happened, since you obviously weren't funny enough to be on the show, but now you're suddenly funny enough to host the show, and this was your explanation.
I was ruminating.
You were ruminating. Let's take a look at your explanation.
Then it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm funny compared to, well, you'll see later. But okay, so let's recap. The bad news is I'm still not funny. The good news is the show blows. I remember when I was doing that, and you can hear it if you listen to it, but the writers booed during that, After not writing anything for the entire show, they booed.
It's ballsy. It's a ballsy thing to do. I assume you wrote that. Did you run it by, you must run it by, you must do the dress rehearsal and run it by the producers and the writers.
I was going to do a thing that I thought would be really cool, and then I was talked out of it. But I was going to do the monologue and then leave and let them do the rest of the show by themselves, which I thought would be good for the show, because it would be, they'd have to get together, band together, and, work around the fact that the host wasn't there and stuff like that.
This was, of course, in a period when Letterman had he still hadn't gotten over the fact that he'd been fired by NBC, and hadn't gotten the Tonight Show right. And you went on Letterman, and I still remember seeing this. He was just fired up with anger and fury on your behalf at the pinheads at NBC. What did that mean to have Letterman at your back?
Oh, Letterman was so kind to me. Yeah, one thing about being fired was, like, a lot of cool guys I really loved, mostly Letterman, he's my favorite guy ever. But Letterman and Stern and Gary Shannon and all these, Chevy and all these guys, like, jumped to my defense, which was really nice. But especially David Letterman, because he was the reason I got into stand-up, and he's the reason that I love comedy so much.
I was asking you about the driving thing, because Norm doesn't drive. We learned that last time. And then I was listening to the Howard Stern show the other day, and I heard Artie Lang telling another story about Norm, which I thought was really funny and worth telling here. Again, I heard this on Howard's Sirius radio show. Artie was saying about how, I didn't know that you got fired from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like, cast member decides, I'm going to go do other things.
No, I got fired.
You got fired because they said, what? It was like, you say that they told you weren't funny enough.
Yeah.
And then the show really started to suck, right? And this is like when SNL went through, like, its most unfunny period. And then they asked Norm to come back to host.
That's right, they did, yeah.
So he's like, wait a minute, I'm not funny enough to be on the cast, but I'm funny enough to come host. So there was a couple ideas, one of which was Norm was going to come in, do the opening monologue.
Oh, Artie said that? Artie said that?
Yeah, he's telling the story.
Oh, that was I had an idea. I think I know what you're... Yeah.
And the idea was to go out and do the opening monologue, because you know how now the host is like in every... It didn't start that way, but now like whoever hosts in the show, he's in like every single sketch.
Artie said this on the air?
Yeah. So I guess the one of the thoughts, and he said that you obviously ended up not going through with it, and you thought about it for a minute.
Did it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was like,
it would have been the coolest.
That would have been the greatest thing.
Yeah.
He was going to do the opening monologue, get in the elevator, and then leave, because it's a live show, but he was just going to bail. Because his character is going to be like in all the sketches, which is not...
I thought it would be actually good for the show, because it would make the show exciting after I left. They'd all be scrambling and figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
see, I didn't know that they fired you.
Yeah.
I wept a little for you, because
I already tell every story I ever tell.
Well,
you know how many comics out there don't give a fuck, but kind of still do? You have to kind of still do to eat. That guy
Norm
truly
doesn't. He's so fucking funny.
One of my best opening monologue jokes ever. Did you ever see? You know, remember that whole thing when he was doing Weekend Update and they told him to make it funnier? So he didn't. He just was more Norm the next week. So eventually, of course, he gets fired. So then, you know, he goes off into the Hollywood world. He's got a TV show or a hit movie or some shit. So now they bring him back to guest host on SNL. And I'm going to butcher this, but he kind of came out. He's like, yeah, so, you know, people know I got fired from this show. So now they got me back hosting, which means either I got a lot funnier or this show sucks. That's what he opened up with. And I know that wasn't approved. Sorry for the bad Norm. I'll have Jay Moore on to make up for it.
That was a great Norm.
And come to think of it, I got addicted to you. Oh, no, no, no. And come to think of it, I need somebody like you. Oh, no, no, no. I need someone like you.
Ladies and gentlemen, NORM MACDONALD.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're very kind. You know, in the, what's that? Oh, yeah, no. No, you're absolutely right. That is my name. You know, when the people here asked me to do the show, you know, I gotta say, I felt kind of weird, you know. I don't know if you remember this, but I used to actually be on this show, you know. I used to do the Weekend Update news routine. You remember that? And, yeah. That's where I did the make-believe news jokes, you know. That was me, right? So then, a year and a half ago, right, I had a sort of a disagreement with the management at the NBC. I wanted to keep my job, right? And they felt the exact opposite. So you see, they fired me because they said that I wasn't funny, you know? Now with most jobs, I could have had a hell of a lawsuit on my hands for that, but see, this is a comedy show. So they got me, you know, you don't want it. But now, this is the weird part, right? It's only a year and a half later, and now they asked me to host the show. So I wondered, I go, hey, wait a second here. Hey! I go, how did I go in a year and a half from being not funny enough to be even allowed in the building to being so funny that I'm now hosting the show? How did I suddenly get so damn funny? It was inexplicable to me, because a year and a half, let's face it, is not enough time for a dude to learn how to be funny. Then it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm funny compared to, you know, well, you'll see later. But okay, so let's recap. The bad news is, I'm still not funny. The good news is, the show blows. All right, folks, we got a bad show for you tonight. Dr. Dre, Snoop Doggy Dogg, and Eminem are here. We'll be right back.
Here's the thing. My favorite story of all time is Pistorius.
Oh, yes, yes.
The runner.
Tell who Pistorius is.
Well, you know who Pistorius is.
No, but for the viewers that don't know.
Pistorius doesn't know.
Well, the viewers that don't know.
South African gentleman.
Well, some viewers don't know.
A kid
well, he should tell it to some of the viewers who don't know who Pistorius is.
He's an Olympic runner who ran with blades. Everyone knows who he is.
Well, I wouldn't say ran with blades.
I didn't ask you what you would say.
That's
right
true.
Now. You're off drugs.
That's true. I am off drugs.
Okay, listen. What about that Dormer? This guy who killed the cops.
Yeah, explain to the folks.
I don't want to explain anything. If you're going to say that after everything I say, I'm going to leave.
No, I've heard people
this
say
is the
that.
cheapest thing I've ever been involved in.
No, I've heard people say that.
If I didn't love you, I would be so gone now. I can't tell you.
I've heard people say that.
Here is
Explain
the
to the
thing.
folks who that is.
Dormer.
Yes, Christopher Dorner.
Okay.
Explain to the folks who he
6
was.
feet tall.
He was the African-American police
great-looking
officer.
guy. His arms are like this. He can't take a bad picture. Even his mugshot was great. You know, I went to a tennis match in Indian Wells.
Yeah.
And I saw Rafael Nadal play. He's my favorite.
Rafael Nadal. Explain to the folks who Rafael Nadal is.
Oh my God.
No, of course, Rafael
Yes,
Nadal. I'll
but-
explain.
okay.
Rafael Nadal is a tennis player, only 26, but seemingly beyond his prime.
Great player.
Abs like.
Great player, but here's the thing.
You like his abs?
I think that if Kim Kardashian were to go to Vegas, she could do Carrot Top's act and take things out of her ass. That's what Nadal reminded me of.
That's a pretty solid idea.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't understand that.
I don't either, but
Well,
I'm just
you know,
behind, I
Carrot Top
respect
takes
that
things
idea.
out of a trunk.
Yeah, oh, I see.
She could take it out. Am I going to have to explain everything to you?
No, to
You
the folks,
really
explain
get-
who
explain it.
Kim
Go
Kardashian
ahead,
is.
Never mind.
Because I think the joke was predicated on knowing that she has a big ass. Wasn't it?
People don't know that.
Young people don't know.
Everybody knows. Have you seen the pictures of her?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. He showed them to me.
Your asswipe producer just held up a sign, let's take a break. Where are we going? We're talking to 6 people. You know, we could get on a bus right now, the 3 of us, and yell out the window and reach more people. A little side thing about that show. I'm going to tell you 2 quick stories, okay?
Mm-hmm.
One, the first Super Day we ever did, I was on the CN Tower. It's the tallest structure in the world. And I was going to jump.
Yeah.
But I yelled down, which was 5 miles.
I like that you told the folks what CN Tower was.
Yeah.
So
you know, this could be your kind of thing. Can I tell you, this reminds me a little bit of Mike Douglas.
Really?
And I'm going to tell you the greatest talk show in the history of talk shows was Mike Douglas.
Mike Douglas.
And his co-host was Sly.
Now people are going to think that's Michael Douglas. You should probably explain to the folks.
Well, who's watching? Is this in the United States?
Well, I'll explain to the
Yeah,
folks.
no, don't explain everything.
Mike Douglas.
Oh,
Mike
you
Douglas
just take everything out of it. There's no sense being here.
I'm saying to the folks at home that Mike Douglas was a talk show host, someone in the vein of Merv Griffin. He was a singer.
Call me when you're through, because I forgot what I
Because I
was
wanna
talking
explain.
about. Okay.
And he had a talk
This
show.
comes-
This is John Biner and a bunch of Canadian actors.
It's a great show. It went 6 years, the first series in the history of cable.
No, I know. I wasn't saying it as an epithet. I meant I liked it.
Don't use epithet when you don't know what it means. We went over words before this show, and I asked you, do you know what epithet means? You said no. And now you use it.
But let me ask you this, though.
No,
seriously.
let me go on with this story.
Oh, is there a story? Bizarre was a variety show. Adam Eager told me something I didn't know. He said you worked with Red Fox on a variety
Yeah,
show.
I heard that. I'm dying to
I
hear it.
produced Red Fox Variety.
You told me he just worked on it.
Worked on it.
Well, that's, I mean, according to your
What do you
Wikipedia
think I was,
page,
a stagehand, you douchebag? Worked on it.
it's not the
Did you
first time I've been
do
called
your
douchebag
notes?
today. No,
I want
got
you
all my
back on
information
drugs.
from
I'm
Wikipedia.
serious. I want you
Yeah,
back on stuff so you
this
know.
close. I'm gonna do a shot
I'm
next
sorry.
break.
That's
No,
just-
it's
I'm
true.
just teasing
No,
you.
no,
He's
no.
kidding you. He's kidding
No, I
you.
clearly.
He knows
clearly.
I'm
But
kidding.
did you have a
Yes.
question?
Yeah.
2 quick Red Fox stories, okay?
Yeah.
We're meeting at his house.
Red Fox, for those of you who don't know.
Oh my God, oh my God.
Was played, of course, most people know him as Sanford and Son. He played Fred Sanford.
Right.
Which was his father's actual name.
Is that right?
You know, if I had steroids, I'd take them right now.
Steroids?
Yes, I would take them right now.
Why would you take
Just
steroids?
so my
then?
arms would pump up, I'd get you in a headlock and pop your head.
Oh my goodness gracious!
He's got a point.
I've never heard such a thing.
Well, it's said never
Said
on
by
a talk
guest
show
to
before. A guest
to
on a
host?
talk show host?
Yeah.
Nothing was said like that to Dick Cavett.
No.
Tell him who Dick Cavett is.
Oh, well, Dick
No,
Cavett was-
forget it. It's not worth it. All right, the door's going to open. And there's the
that's
Pope. There's the
not
Pope.
Oh, wait, that's not.
That's the Pope.
We should explain to the folks that was Michael Jackson. the
Let's
late
explain.
Michael
Yeah, explain who Michael Jackson is to the people.
Everyone knows Michael Jackson. What are you, retarded?
You know, I would rather do a show with
Look.
I would rather do.
the
I'd
middle of
rather
your
do a
story.
show. I'd rather do a show with a signer. I'm serious for the death.
No, but in the middle of
Oh,
your story.
yeah, you told me, let's take a break. I'll show you a break.
Let's take a break.
But what do we take a break for? This isn't a television show.
Yeah, we got.
You don't have sponsors. This is the first time you've been on.
I got sponsors. Where do you get your ideas from? Well, I mean.
Why didn't you answer his question?
What was his question?
Ask it again.
Don't ask that
Sorry,
again.
ask
That was
that
the
again.
dumbest
Too
god
rough.
question I've ever heard.
You just want to know where you got
Yeah, well, I gotta tell you where I got it at Ralph's. That's where I got it.
Any particular Ralph's?
Yes, no, it's at Beverly Hills Ralph's.
Okay.
Got it in the
On
meat
Bever-
section.
the one on Beverly.
Beverly Drive.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I guess it does.
That was sure cut together great, by the way. You got a crack staff. Maybe allow the blind man to do other work, okay, than edit. He should be outside begging for money so we have more money instead of this. Did you see this? Cardboard piece of shit.
Explain to the folks
Explain to them what's going on.
that Super Dave is addressing Daniel Kellison, the producer.
Oh, yes, Daniel Kelson, our trusty producer, who I think's done a great job, personally.
Oh, suck his ass, because you're not coming back unless you do. Okay?
Researchers at Harvard found that 1 in every 10 U.S. deaths is a result of too much salt consumption.
Now, I smoke like a chimney. I'm a
You do,
terrible.
really?
I do. I'm a terrible driver. I've dated some women that probably own guns. A lot of things would have to go very, very right for me to die of salt. The only thing I can pray for is that I die of salt and not, begging for mercy. So I think that's nonsense, that people should be afraid of too much salt. Now, I know you eat a lot of salt, though, Norm. We were discussing this earlier. And,
You know what it's like? It's like I'm in a drag race car, and I just left the line, and I'm told that there's something wrong with the motor, and I've got to put an emergency brake on at 90 miles an hour, okay? And I'm sliding all over the goddamn track, out of control.
You know,
We're talking about
All
this
of a
news.
sudden, we're doing Meet the Press. All the humor's gone. Everything is gone.
in all
Who
fairness-
gives a shit if you're... Did you show a clip about dying of salt?
But he had all those jokes for it.
They're not
No,
jokes. They're not
there's
jokes.
not jokes. Those aren't jokes.
That he has salt trouble with other things, and if he had salt, it was, you didn't get that part?
I got some of it.
Entertainment news. This is something you guys both wanted
Get to it.
discuss. Let's roll the clip.
Oh, not another one.
Oh yeah,
There's
you know
no
what? There is no
clip.
clip. We have.
He said, let's roll the
picture.
clip, and it's a picture. This show is just so... I tell you, even the prisoners are going back to the...
Well, I'll explain what's going on.
cell.
Take a break.
But this guy is doing a talk show for 22 people. He should have his own show on a network. And if anybody is listening, put him on a network.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Because what about Adam Egan?
Yes, I like him.
Oh shit.
I swear to God, I think after the show, a bus is going to come and take Adam with a lot of dangerous people back to the home. And he's going to be sedated, and they're going to take his balls off.
This is the section where we do jokes. Do you want to read one? Just read into that camera for the folks. Well, don't
No,
read it
out loud.
You have to
yeah.
read it out
Yeah,
loud.
No, he didn't.
Oh, here, you read one.
All right. No.
You don't like that
No,
one
I mean,
either?
I like it. It just.
Do you understand that we're on the air?
Yeah.
Oh, right. We all know that the Swiss are officially neutral.
Who wrote this? Who wrote this? Who wrote this?
Well, that screwed up my timing.
Who wrote this?
We
Who
don't have a name
wrote it?
on
Do you have writers?
It's anonymous.
Well,
It's like
think-
an old, I didn't
I don't
write
wanna
it.
say
I didn't write that one.
This one says, remember the old days when tweeting meant stabbing a hooker?
Bob liked that one.
Super Dave, why is there an app for everything except how to rape a baby?
Jesus.
Some gold-plated chains would make a nice retirement gift, for a very, very good slave. Well, this
Are you serious?
Well, this was written.
Are you serious?
This was written years
Did
ago.
Did you just write that?
I didn't write it.
Did you just say that?
No, I read it. Yes.
You read that?
It was old. It was written,
Oh
obviously.
my God Almighty! I'm not part of this.
No, it was written
No,
before.
I'm not part of this. No, you can't read that.
Well, we could nip March Madness in the bud if we watch for the warning signs of brooding antisocial February fever.
Who is writing this? You're doing this. This is your life. You're putting your life on it. You dress like horse shit tonight.
No, that was Adam Egan's
I don't
fault.
care.
That was
You
Adam
should have
Egan's
worn
fault. I told you to bring a
some
wardrobe.
kind of a hose coat.
But that was
You
Adam
got
Egan's
a
fault.
thing with a hood.
But that was Adam Egan's
But then
fault.
you're reading these.
I
This is you. Can you find out what the quickest way is to the Santa Monica Freeway, please? And don't call me again.
Super Dave.
I don't care about anything. You don't call me again. There's no last minute fill in. There's nothing. Okay? Thank God we're only reaching 50 people.
Wait,
That's
Super
all
Dave.
I can tell you.
Sure, junkyard dogs are mean, but the meanest dogs are generally found guarding concentration camps. And it says here, there's a note. Early versions of the Jim Croce's 1973 smash hit Big Bad Leroy Brown. Do you remember that song?
Tell the people the
No, do you know what you just said?
It
Do you have
included.
any idea what you just read?
This says it
No, did you have any idea what you just read?
that
It was an
junkyard dogs.
anti-Semitic joke about the concentration camp.
No.
Oh,
Not
what do you mean?
anti-Semitic
No,
at all.
No, it's Semitic?
No.
Well, you know, I know what the problem
They
is.
use
'cause
Did you write it?
I didn't write that.
Who wrote it?
They
Are you-
use the meanest
wrote it?
dogs.
I don't know who wrote it, but I think the problem is that some people might not know what the concentration camps are. So you might need to-
Concentration camps were found in Poland.
Oh my God!
And
Oh,
what?
fucking
What?
almighty. Oh my Christ
Concentration
almighty.
camps.
Please
were-
get my nurse. I swear to God, get her in here right now and
I'm
reel
trying
me
to
away.
explain to the
Did you
folks
have-
who
You
know.
are
Did you have too much
you
salt?
know what? This is your first show, and these are the.
Well, I don't want to bring up the systemic, extermination attempt against the Jewry of Europe, but this says on this piece of paper that Bad Leroy Brown initially included the line "meaner than a concentration camp dog," but Croce decided it was unpleasant to the ear. And it was also offensive to Jews, gypsies, and homosexuals. Little did it matter, Croce would be dead within
You know
the
what
year.
I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to watch the fucking View.
The View?
That's what I'm going to do.
How dare you? How dare
That's
you?
where I'm going to get my humor from.
You told me you didn't like The View.
But I'm watching it tomorrow.
You told me you didn't like it.
I never told you that.
Oh, you like
I
it?
told you they're my favorite of all time.
Oh.
And Barbara Walters is never leaving. She's 83 and she had chicken pox. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you love to see her chicken pox?
No.
No? At 83 at night in the negligee coming out of the bathroom?
Wouldn't you get shingles then?
No. If you get chicken pox, you can get shingles.
Yeah.
But she hasn't gotten them yet.
Yeah.
What a group that is.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I heard you got cut.
Hello?
Sounds like he's dying.
Hello?
Hello?
Super Dave. Can you hear us, Super Dave?
Hello? Is this Norm?
Yeah.
What a up connection.
Are you on a cell phone?
What difference does it make what I'm on?
Turn off your radio.
Stupid podcast. I might as well be on a can with a string.
Super Dave.
So amateurish.
Super Dave, during the commercial, Kevin and I were recalling the first time you ever met.
Don't recall anything. This is
What?
so out of line.
Did I recall something?
Listen to me carefully. First of all, I'm talking on an echo.
Get out of the cave.
I say something and then I hear my voice. It's like I'm on a fucking ship at the zoo.
Are you in the desert?
Not on Palm Springs. I'm out. Doesn't matter where I am.
Sounds like he needs help, wherever he is.
Well, Kevin Nealon is with us.
I love him. Do you know something? That the two of you are my favorite all-time Canadian comedians.
Do you know that I introduced you and Kevin Nealon to each other?
Yeah, I do. I know that. I knew a lot of things before you started doing this stupid podcast.
Do you know that I introduced you on...
Listen to me now. I have a question to ask you.
Oh, okay. A question.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, listen to me carefully. It has been documented that twins, when one twin gets a mosquito bite, the other itches. If a twin has an allergy, the other sneezes. Why didn't Jared Collins?
Fortunately, we can all finish the joke. Phone is ringing. Soon Super Dave should be answering from the desert. Phone ringing right now.
Hello?
Bob! Super Dave!
No.
Where did you go?
No.
What are you in a grocery
Stupid
store?
show cut me off. You broke away in the middle of a great joke.
No, it got disconnected.
No, they said you hung up.
No, I didn't hang up.
Go ahead and finish your joke.
You disconnected me.
Just finish the joke.
I was right in the middle of the twin setup, and then I was going to say, if twins know everything, how come Jared Collins didn't question that his ass hurt for 22 years?
We got a good connection now.
What a bunch of What?
Daniel Kellison just wrote me on the monitor here, and it says, "Bad news, Super, we have to end the show."
How did he know? How does he know when it ends?
Well,
Who
I don't know.
knows when it begins or ends? You know what? A car just passed and I waved, which means I reached more people than you two did.
Thanks so much for calling in, Super Dave. Please come
I
back.
didn't call in, asshole. I didn't call in. You called me. I'm not calling into this. Let me explain something. If I'm homeless, I'm not calling in.
Duly noted, Super Dave.
You understand? You understand?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, thanks for calling in.
Sorry, Super Dave.
Okay, do me a favor,
We're
okay?
closing up the studio. We're turning the lights out. You keep talking, though.
You care? You think I care about that? You think when you turn the lights out, it's going to be a big difference? I can talk all night and we'll still be reaching the same people. Hey, let me tell you something. Why don't you get something that is semi-professional? You're a bunch of asswipes. Right now I'm getting on a bus and I'm going to scream out the window and I'll reach 20 more people than you did tonight. I'm telling you, don't ever call me again. Don't ever try to get a hold of me. I will never do this show again as long as I live.
Welcome Norm MacDonald, everybody.
Hey, Norm! Yeah, they love you, Norm. They love you. They love you. No, you. All right, that's enough. That's enough. You're making Norm nervous now.
Is an exceptionally funny man. He's an actor, comedian, and former news anchor for Saturday Night Live. Next week, comedy history will be made with the premiere of Sports Show with Norm MacDonald. You can watch it Tuesday nights at 10:30 on Comedy Central. Please welcome Norm MacDonald.
How's it going, dude? Good.
You scared me.
Why?
I don't know. I felt like you were coming to attack me or something.
No. I like getting out of here fast. I find people don't like people walking. You know, right to the jokes, get jokes in.
Some people really milk it, the walk out to the thing.
Yeah.
I admire that in a way, because I don't have that kind of confidence to stand there and to do this.
Oh, to do the big thing and wave and everything.
Sometimes they go in and there's
people
handshakes.
until people don't care too much for you.
Yeah.
Not you, me.
Yeah, or us, together.
Please welcome one of our oldest friends, NORM MACDONALD. Let's get him out here.
What a crowd. You guys are great, I'll tell you that. I've been on a lot of shows, but there's no better crowd than you right here. I'll tell you that
You're a pro. You're a pro. You came out here, you lit this crowd up.
I'm just telling the truth.
You're a truth teller. Please welcome NORM MACDONALD. That's a can-do, Norm. You came charging out like
that. Yeah, because Peter, look at this audience, man. They don't care about that walk. They like jokes.
One of the funniest guys around, NORM MACDONALD. Is there a problem there? What's the problem?
No, nothing. It's just speckled water.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. You got out fast.
Yeah. I want to get right to the jokes. That's what the people are here for. They're not here to see a guy walk from there to there.
No, I've never seen anyone care about the customer more than you.
I love this audience, man. According to the EPA, it will cost an estimated $295 million to clean up toxic waste at the former Lockheed Martin military aircraft plant in California. The cause of the toxic waste? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. In Princess Anne, Maryland, state health officials have discovered what caused the mysterious death of 200,000 fish at a Somerset County fish farm. The culprit? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. In economic news, unemployment figures rose slightly for the month of October, with declines in the Dow Jones and NASDAQ. The reason for the sudden downturn? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. Entertainment Weekly's list of the 101 most powerful people in show business is out. At number 1, Fox CEO Robert Murdoch. And at number 2, you guessed it, Frank Stallone. And finally, the number 1 selling doll this Christmas is Tickle Me Elmo. And the least popular selling doll? You guessed it, Tickle Me Frank Stallone. And the British Sunday Times is reporting that Belgian doctors have accidentally cloned a human being. The human being? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. Recent photos sent from the Galileo space probe orbiting Jupiter's moon Europa suggests that it meets the conditions necessary to support a primitive life form. Just what kind of life form? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. And finally, the votes are in. And Entertainment Weekly has chosen its funniest man alive. And who is the funniest man alive? You guessed it, Frank Stallone. Congratulations, Frank Stallone.
New songs on the radio sounding fake. Prince and Genesis for better anyway.
On Weekend
Update when you anchored, Frank Stallone was often a punchline. Did he know it was coming, or did you ever talk to him afterwards?
But I talked to his brother, Sylvester Stallone, who hosted the show, and he was like, "What the fuck with Frank?" And so I said, it's a complete non sequitur. It's ridiculous, And so he told me, he says, the thing with Frank is, after Rocky, he decided to become a boxer. So, he'd go in the ring with it. He'd say like the Italian Stallion's brother. He goes, every boxer in Philadelphia just beat the shit out of him. He goes, you've never been right since, and I feel guilty about it. He says, if you could just lay off him for a while. And I was like, no. So I never did another job.
There's a girl that used to hang around SNL. So she'd be standing like this far from you, and her breast would be touching your shoulder. You know what I mean? Like it was insane. And
it's not her fault.
No, of course not. But
it's just your human body.
They broke
It's
up.
like saying, God, Norm, he stands near me. His cock is nowhere near me. Can you believe this guy? Sorry.
I just want the new people. Hey, guess what? There's a young girl that's middling attractive that swears a lot. Let's get her. What? Is that the new fucking thing?
Yeah.
Sarah Silverman, hysterical.
Right.
Who's funnier than her?
Nobody.
No, except dudes. But,
Nobody.
but I think she spawned these other ladies that they forget that she's funny, and they think the whole point is just to be
semi-hot,
attractive, and then talk about sucking cock. And
you got to show
shit.
a lot of leg. You got to show a lot of leg with little skirts on, and then talk about sucking cock and manipulating balls with your hand, and it's hysterical.
Bring back Phyllis Diller. Some ugly old bag. Rosemary.
Rosemary.
Those are the funny ladies.
Wow. Whoa, that is old.
The funny ladies always used to be ugly old bags. Or Roseanne.
Have you ever had a job other than show business? No, right?
No, I mean, I was a waitress, but...
Pretty quick, though.
Yeah, you
It was the first time I ever saw a penis.
When you were a waitress?
Yeah. My boss.
Jesus.
Can you change perception? Like one time I remember there was a magazine and it said, Elle or some ladies magazine, big breasts are out. And I was like, can you really do that? And like, so 1996, those huge juicy tits.
Yeah. Everybody hates those big, heavy, juicy tits. Gross.
Icky.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
You got me, Norm. Oh, baby.
Hey,
that's dangerous.
it is dangerous. Oh, here we go. We've got creator and the star of Comedy Central's hit series, the Sarah Silverman Program, and she's a member of the comedy collective Jash, and also Sarah Silverman is a wonderful person that I'm really happy to be around right now.
Thank you, Jenny Slate.
Straight up, sunglasses.
You know how I feel about you and about sunglasses.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I hope this our bit works out. We'll see. It'll be fun.
Hey,
Norm, thanks for dressing up.
Hey, Sarah, listen, man. Congratulations. That's the 100th time that joke's been done tonight. But I also want to tell you, I have a bet with Daniel Kellison, a rather large figure.
Daniel Kellison, who put this whole thing together, way over his head.
He says you
did it.
He says you can explain what the fuck Jash is.
Jash is
pay up, fucker.
Jash is a comedy collective, a United Artists, if you will. Uniting myself, Reggie Watts, Michael Cera, and Tim and Eric. And what do? We do whatever we dream up. We shoot it, and it goes on there. We can fail, we can do well. It's total freedom.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
You got me, Norm.
I mean, I've never heard the word collective.
I know, but
Leon
Daniel
Trotsky.
puts buzzwords in my head, and then I just blind.
All the stars are here. Bobby McFerrin just showed up.
Norm, didn't you used to host the news on Saturday Night
I know,
Live?
man. This whole thing's got me thinking I gotta fucking get back on TV.
I was at a party with a friend and I noticed you first, and you returned my gaze, knew how to quench my thirst. You took me to that room like a dream come true. The dance you performed was just for me and you. Kisses on the neck, then you work your way down. Let your himself go for me all around town. Seductively stood.
Most embarrassing moment of your life? So many to choose from. I know you've mined probably a few of them for your little stand-up sketches.
I have to be honest. Ugh.
I want a new scab peeled off here.
I've never said this out loud. I want people to see me in a sexual way, but I was on SNL the year I was at SNL, but I was in Los Angeles for hiatus for some reason. I didn't live here. And I went to soup. I was having dinner, and then I was going to take the red eye back, and I was to pick up Norm MacDonald in my rental car, and we're on the same flight back. But I think he was in first class and I was in coach. So I went to Soup Plantation before and had dinner with some friends, and then it just hit me like your story that I don't know if you told while we were doing this.
Yeah, 5-pound weight dropped down in your belly.
That happened to me, and I had the diarrhea of a lifetime in the bathroom at Soup Plantation. Like,
not a luxurious bathroom.
Like when you think it's over and you've cleaned up and you're getting up and you stand up and you go, oh my God, it's starting all over again. It was like that. It was like I was sweating, like I wanted to take my shirt off.
Yeah, and you've already wiped thinking it was done. Now you got to wipe again.
And I'm very meticulous. I mean, I
front to back?
Yes.
Okay.
This just made me think of Harris Whittles said about Rob Schraub that most people wipe front to back, he wipes side to side. That makes me laugh. Okay, so I'm like sick. I'm sick, okay? So I clean myself up, and I go to pick up Norm MacDonald, who I worshipped, at that time, and I pick him up. And we're driving. I've never told this story. I've never told him this. And we're driving to the airport. And Norm goes, what the fuck? It smells like fucking diarrhea in this car. And I'm going, what? And my heart is going bam, 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 bam. And he goes, did you fucking shit in your pants? And I go, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And I we roll down our windows. And I'm thinking, what is he smelling? Like, I must have, stepped on it or something. Like, it literally, I don't know what it was. And to this day, I was clean. I swear to God.
And this is your worst nightmare.
It is still to this day probably my worst nightmare. And he's going, fucking smells like fucking diarrhea in this car. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you, Norm. But in my heart, I'm going, my heart is just pounding out of my chest, and I'm just like, what is wrong with me? And I'm feeling it again. And then we get to the airport, and I go to the bathroom, and I'm totally clean. I don't know, I'm still to this day, I don't know if I it was on the bottom of my shoe,
or maybe in that when your underwear and pants form a little hammock underneath you.
I don't have that. I'm a lady.
Yeah.
I don't know, or maybe it was a crazy coincidence. It makes more sense that Norm shit his pants and was yelling at me for shitting his pants. He's a guy who literally took a shit and then forgot to wipe and walked away and pulled up his pants because he was on the phone. So anyway, he just told that story on Stern, I think. That was it. He boarded the plane, did not even say goodbye or anything. He just got on the plane way before me, and I never saw him again until we got to work on Monday.
Wow.
But I've remained good friends with him, but
You never told him this story?
No, I've got to ask him about that. I guess what is there to ask?
Well, he listens to every podcast, so he will probably reach out to you after hearing this. Can you imagine if he was still angry, all these years later? You fucking denied it?
Well, that was what's scary is he was angry. It wasn't oh my God, do you smell that? What is that? Is that this area? I hope you don't think that's me.
You always give somebody an out.
It was just an accusatory anger.
Wow.
And I wanted to,
shit your pants.
honestly wanted to just drive the car into a wall and kill us both.
Wow.
Would have been less embarrassing.
Wow.
Why did I tell this story?
A woman is lying in a coma in the hospital. The nurse is watching her. She starts washing her vagina. The woman starts moaning. So she wipes even harder. The woman's moaning and biting her lip. She runs outside, tells the doctor. The doctor pulls the husband over and goes, look, I don't know if this'll work, but it might help if you performed oral sex with your wife. So he climbs into bed, they pull the curtain shut. All of a sudden they hear a bell ring and they see it's a flat line. They go inside and the woman's dead. And they say to the husband, what happened? And the husband says, I don't know, I think she choked. Because he had his dick in her mouth. And now George is sitting there going, well, that's a good way to die with a cock in your mouth. If I have to die, what better way than a big cock in my mouth? I can't imagine everyone has to die, but boy, a cock in the mouth, you can't ask for better than that.
Well, let me say something more modern and stylish then.
Okay.
My wife went into a coma.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
And the doctor said to me, you won't hear this from any 1935 comic. He says to me, there's one way to wake her up, but it's a little unconventional. You go in there and you have oral sex with her. I said, by God. He says, I've seen it work. I said, well, I'm willing to try. So I go in there, I'm in there about 5 minutes, and I come out. I said, Doc, she's choking. But that's modern medicine for you.
That's modern medicine. We're going to take a break. I'm going to find out what's happening here.
That's modern. I was at a party with a friend and I noticed you first, and you returned my gaze, knew how to quench my thirst. You took me to that room like a dream come true. The dance you performed was just for me and you. Kisses on the neck, then you work your way down. Let yourself go for me all around town. Seductively stood before me.
We're going to take a little break here. Here's a message from the good people at Bosco Chocolate Syrup. We'll be back. More Norm MacDonald after this.